Pittsburgh Fire Department. Got a copy?
All right, hello everybody and welcome. I'm trying to get coverage going here. We're trying to do this on the fly. So give me just a second here to get everything set. I hit the live button about 2 minutes too soon, but that's all right. We're just going to go with it. We've got
Also Fire Department, go ahead.
got the scanners on for you guys. Let me get those patched in here.
Three trucks between Herrick and St. Charles north to work their way out towards Lucas to check. Do you need any more help down there to help do things or check areas?
Okay, we are covering severe weather, as you guys can see on the screen there.
Did hit north of Bonestell. Those places, those guys are okay. We have a few trucks out in the country west or east of Bonestell right now, but we don't have any power in Bonestell, and the towers are down, and that's where the command center is. Chad's there right now, the fire chief. We're going to try to give them a call, and we'll get a hold of you.
I've got Chad's cell phone. I'll give him a call.
All right, guys, I'm getting the chat room up. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is live coverage of severe weather currently in South Dakota, moving eastbound now in eastern South Dakota. We are currently looking at this area here, Charles Mix County and Gregory County in South Dakota. And there is a thunderstorm here capable of producing a tornado. The severe thunderstorm warning is listed as considerable. The tornado warning is listed as radar indicated. So that's where we're at on this one so far.
There's a lot of trees down and damage, and I talked to a couple guys here, and some tin off the roofs and such, but
Oh, crap.
but everybody's okay over in this area. 10-4,
We've got a number of storm chasers on the ground. I'm trying to keep all the screens active.
Lucas, and then one going down through Kenny Taylor's down through there, coming up out and checking, and then the other one north of St. Charles, and then they'll have to turn around and come back out of there. 10-4.
All right, I'm checking now, but I've already got most of these. There's one I don't have.
Northern Davidson County is in a thunderstorm warning, so 8 p.m.
All right, guys, bear with me. I'm continuing to find other feeds. Okay, I'm checking on the active shooter in New York. Everybody stay with us on that. Oh my God. I don't know how that got so garfed up, but I think I've got it fixed here. Bear with me, guys. Was not expecting to go on quite this early, but there you go. All right, we've got a number of storm chasers. I'm here. I'm going to let you continue to listen to the scanners. I'm going to split those right now, left and right ear, so it'll be a little easier to hear. I've got Charles Mix County Fire in the left and Charles Mix County Public Safety in the right. All right, we've got a number of storm chasers up. We're watching this from as many angles as we can possibly watch it from right now. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures. and we are live tonight on the Sights and Sounds of Earth. I'm checking on an active shooter situation in New York right now. While we're doing that, we're monitoring all bunch of storm chasers in South Dakota. You can see on the radar screen there, which is a little bit crowded, but you can kind of see there. We are watching that move off. This camera has been out for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and...
campground. I don't know if you got an ambulance that can head this way, but the individual might be taking the vehicle. I'm still working on that. So.
All right. And I'm looking for more counties to add into the mix here. I want you guys, I'm going to back out, and I want you to notice, look at this large area of very high warning tonight.
Her husband's going to be taking her in a car into town.
This is going to be a 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 for tornadoes tonight. So definitely going to see some really bad weather move through South Dakota and points east tonight. Especially like Minnesota, you're about to get it coming through.
They are leaving the area now.
Bear with me, guys. I got to do something here real quick. I have to fix something. I turned on something last night, and it's absolutely driving me nuts. I have to turn off the heat advisory. There we go. All right, that's much better. Sorry about that. I had to do that. Every time I click on anything, it would just give me the heat advisory, and obviously that's not going to work. I need to be able to click on these storm warnings like this and be able to pull them up just like that. All right, this one is going to be in southern Aurora and northwestern Douglas. So Aurora and Douglas. Hold on, I'm going to pull those up right now. Stay with us. Aurora has public safety. I'm adding it. It's going to be on the left.
I'm just rolling through Wagner. I'm going to head east here a little bit. I know the wind is picking up to the north side of us. We could probably be going into the Delmont area.
Or do we want to go over and help Pat?
I know you got 1 or 2 guys over there right now. I'm gonna, if I can swing down to Danny quick, check on that, and then I'll head up to Delmont area. Hopefully it'll be that before the storm hits us.
A cookie and one.
Could you dispatch McCook Search and Rescue for Weather Watch, please?
10-4.
All right, Douglas has Armor Fires offline, but I got Corsica Fire and Delmont Fire. Corsica and Delmont, I've added those now. So 5 scanner feeds now. Well, maybe not. Well, okay, no, never mind. That's tone going out.
McCook Search and Rescue. McCook Search and Rescue. You are for storm body.
Is that rain and wind here down in Danny?
Or appreciate it. I'm gonna head toward Delmont area then.
Okay, yeah, the shooter is dead. Probably not going to be anything. Shooter down in Midtown Manhattan, multiple people shot. All right, hold on, I'm getting more information. I'm going to try to get a view up here. Let me see what I can get. Let me see what's available. Damn it. I hate when stuff just auto plays. All right, bear with us, guys. We got a lot going on tonight. I know there's a lot of other people covering too, so I understand that too. But I'm trying my best here. We've got
605 North
a
Kimball.
number of storm chasers up on the screen.
Did
About
you
9 of
talk
them.
to a 1012M about a stolen bike today?
10-4 on North Edmonds.
Hispanic male. Okay, if you could run by there again. They're back on the phone. Got a little language barrier here, but the uncle is trying to report that he saw somebody with his bike.
All right, guys, upper right corner. We're going to be switching to very recent coverage. This is live coming out now.
Go ahead.
But the video they'll probably be showing is probably from a few moments ago. So bear with us. I'm just trying to get more information on this. There's a shot of the shooter right there.
Good clouds here.
Talking like it's right over Dancy right now, but I think it's probably past that.
Yeah, all I have right now is just
SR Waddell, SR Drukowski.
slow with that one.
SR Drukowski, SR Baker, go ahead.
Apartment complex, management, corpse fire, arrival, people have evacuated. We'll be on investigating.
1923.
Text down now, just a little bit of split rain. Just a little bit of wind.
About a mile in from Mount Vernon Oil on 247.
Okay, guys, we are covering both incidents here. We've got the, I'm looking for more video out of Manhattan, so bear with us on that. As I can get more footage out of Manhattan, I will. I'm gonna be switching out that upper right view as I get different videos, so you guys can see what's out there while we're covering the storm in South Dakota moving east. These are live shots that are coming out now. This is purported to be live as well, right down where it happened. So we're going to leave that for a few minutes. We'll see what happens.
Head over the dam.
I've got a chopper up, but it's not actually looking down right now. So I think it might be on the way back to fuel.
Here in Wagner, the hail has died out and it's still raining.
All right, here we go. This another video. This one's moving around.
Let's see this 431 if unit 1 is 261 and 431, and the other one maybe a Spencer exit 990-ish.
Okay, we're now getting reports that there are police officers that have been shot. Stand by, I'm getting ready to give you a full rundown. All right, stand by, here we go. All right, I'm going to turn the scanner down just a little bit. All right, guys, here we go. 2 NYPD officers among 6 shot in Manhattan just moments ago in the Blackstone building in Manhattan. New York PD and Sheriff's Department personnel in protective gear seen with guns drawing at Midtown building. At least 6 people shot. They're going to give me the same thing like 4 times now. Unleashed a barrage of gunfire inside the Midtown Manhattan office building that houses the Blackstone Investments firm and the headquarters of the NFL. Video taken by Fox 5 New York employees showed several officers carrying a person, and other officers appeared to be tending to a person lying on the ground. The news outlet reported the number of people killed, citing law enforcement sources. 2 police officers were shot, including one who died. So we have lost an officer in this so far. Sources have told Fox News. The gunman was armed with a rifle. The first opened fire in the lobby of the building on 52nd Street and Park Avenue. He went to another floor and shot people there. Sources told Fox News before going up to the 33rd floor and then shooting himself. The NYPD officers working securely at the building they're saying that an NYPD officer that was shot was working security in the building. Let's see, during the chaos, people inside the building were hiding on different floors, kitchens and bathrooms, etc. New York PD and the Sheriff's Department officers in protective gear seen running into the building. New Yorkers, they put out a text that said there is an active shooter situation investigation taking place in Midtown right now. New York City Mayor Eric Adams wrote on X, please take proper safety precautions if you are in the vicinity and do not go outside near Park Avenue and East 51st Street. Officers were sweeping the building to see if a second shooter was present, but none has been found so far. The city emergency notification system told followers to expect traffic and mass transit disruptions all through the area. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said that FBI New York field office, management personnel, and agents were responding to provide any support necessary at the active crime scene. That's what we have so far on the active shooter situation. I'm going to try to keep a video up on that so we can keep watching and see what else there. But it does look like that situation is stabilized with the shooter down in custody or dead. All right, I'll turn the scanners back up. Let's go back over and check the radar. Here's how we've got it lined up down here. We've got our 5 storm chasers here. I'm showing 5. I've only got 4 on the screen, so let me see who I'm missing here.
1928.
Oh, yeah, here's the one. I don't have them. They went off earlier and now they're back. So let me stick them right here.
The tornado warning for our area here.
1928.
The tornado warning on this storm system was just allowed to expire. So right now, no tornado warnings. That was the last one.
Light to moderate wind. Corn's moving pretty good, but nothing that's going to lay it over.
10-4.
Good evening, Junior. And
Eric, where are you currently
Alicia,
right now?
thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Or is it Elijah? I'm sorry, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Elijah.
Good. Wind out of the north blowing, and every once in a while I get a little ping of hail.
Some of the barricades blew down or
10-4.
Downfall.
way. They check around and see any damage. Anybody around them? 10-4.
Oh boy. All right, let's see.
Six 601 Edward 602. 628-2. I have a 1012 of Pam on the phone for you.
Jeff, go ahead and enter the car 25 phone, please.
All right, for those just joining us, the scanner traffic you are listening to is going to be out of South Dakota, Charles Mix County, Mitchell Regional Public Safety, Charles Mix County Public Safety, Corsica Fire, and Delmont Volunteer Fire Department, all on the scanner, split between your left and right ears. And then on the screen, we've got 9 storm chasers up in that area, all 9 of them on this complex of storms that we're looking at here on the radar. And you can see 4 or 5 of our storm chasers here in these little green bubbles, and you can see them actually moving on the map. This is all GPS, and you can see them moving. The tornado warning for this area has been allowed to expire. And then in the upper right corner, we are monitoring the situation live. That is what you're looking at right there, is actually the scene outside of the Manhattan office building, where a shooter, in fact, has shot a number of people. We have 6 that are down, and 1 NYPD officer has been unalived in this situation, unfortunately. There's at least 6 people that were hit by gunfire.
Yeah, 10-4.
And so that's what we have there. And so we're going to continue to have this live view and possibly others too. So we're going to see how that goes. We did have a tornado earlier that was down on the ground. It is up now. We don't have anything down. We've got so many eyes on the sky right now that this thing is moving into the area. See that pink line? Once these storms get into that pink area, they are in a much higher area, energy area there. That area is going to be highly susceptible tonight for tornadoes. They're talking F2s and 3s. What am I getting music? God, I hate when it does that. All right. That was some bullshit auto playing on my screen. All right, so there's that. I'm going to keep the scanners on, and we're going to keep watching as this tornado situation continues to develop in South Dakota. And, of course, next up, is Indiana. You've got...
Go ahead, Doug. We were staying just north of the East and Oil on 400 Street.
Let's see, we've got a flash flood warning up here. This is in Minnesota, and this is for Stevens and Swift County in Minnesota. That's a flash flood warning. And that is just above the very bad area. So right in here is where we're expecting it to explode here in the next hour or two. We are at 8:34 on the East Coast, and it is... the area we're looking at out here has about 2 hours of workable sunlight left. Maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of usable sunlight left. So that's kind of a big consideration. Once the sun goes down, now we're literally watching the lightning strikes to see if we see a lowering or whatever. And it gets a lot more difficult to spot a tornado if something were to come up. Jeez, there's so much going on right now. All right, guys, I want to remind everybody about our Discord server. We've got a Discord server now, and you guys can put... I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to be adding a category for live, for you guys to put in news live. And I'm looking forward to that. I want to get it to where you guys can put in, when you see news happening, I sound like the local news. When you see news happening, call our newsroom right away. But yeah, I'm gonna set up a thread in there or whatever you call it, a subcategory that's gonna say breaking news only. And I'm going to ask people to only post breaking news in there and updates to that same breaking news, and that's it. And then I'm going to set alerts to on for that category so that way I can be notified. You guys actually will have a way to notify me that something's going on, and then I'll be able to respond by getting the stream up. I'll go on at 2 in the morning if something big happens. If I can be notified, if I can be told it's going on or woke up somehow, I will come out and get on. I'm not above that. All those years at the fire department, I'm used to getting up when there's an emergency. All right, so thank you everybody so far tonight that has come into the stream. I do have the Discord up. And during the shows, at least for right now, I'm monitoring. And thank you, Junior, for posting the live. Thank you. I'm in the general tab, and I keep it up. You guys can send me links in Discord. The number one reason that we did the number one reason that we did the Discord server is so you guys can send links. I want you guys to be able to send links. To video and to breaking news and to information that I need for my listeners, and I want you guys to be able to get that to me quickly, and so that's kind of what I've come up with y'all's help, and it was Discord was recommended, and I think Discord is going to do exactly what we need it to do. I think it's going to be perfect. I'm also looking at expanding to social media, to a bunch of social media sites to try to boost our numbers. And I'm looking to pay a service to help me with that. If anybody knows of any good services that do like that connect all your social media together and it puts all your comments in one place and all that, if anybody knows of a good service like that, please get with me. Throw it in Discord. Hey BJ, Commodore BJ, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's BlackRock headquarters. It's also in that building. We don't know what floor he went to. Also in that building is the headquarters for the National Football League, and that's what was in that article. So, yes, the gunman is, as we used to say, Signal 7. 86, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to use the D word or the K word. Where have we been? We're here. I'm here every night, dude. I even did Saturday again this week. We did 4.5 hours on Saturday. Kidding me? Oh, man, we did it up. All right, I'm continuing to check for updates on the New York situation. The video in the upper right corner is live out of Midtown Manhattan, right outside of NFL headquarters where this all happened inside there. We've got one police officer that did not make it. We've got another one that's in the hospital right now, and we've got 4 others that were struck. And so the gunman is down. We're not sure exactly of his status. There's a little conflict there, but he is no longer at large. Let me just put it that way. Oh man, Carl, I remember that. Yeah. Well, good. I hope you're doing better. This I've had 2 or 3 people I know here get that second. This is what they call the latest round of COVID or whatever. And the good news is it seems to not be quite as bad. But that's not everybody's experience. You know how everybody gets it different. Suggested that the gunman has a Las Vegas involvement. Interesting, Victor. I'll be watching for any mention of that. Lots of stories, but a lot of it's politics, and I'm not getting into any of that bullshit. I did that at work tonight. Thank you very much. All right, so let's see what we got here. We are in South Dakota, and I'm telling you, that cloud looks very suspicious right there. I think this thing's getting cranked up again. I'm starting to see some spikes, and I'm starting to see a real suspicious lowering there in that upper left just a minute ago. I think this is going to put something down eventually here. We've got 2 areas we're watching, but the one right here is the one that all the storm chasers believe is going to be the lucky one here. But right now, no tornado warning. We have no tornado warnings right now, just severe thunderstorm warnings.
South Main, number 10, for a welfare check. 1021 South Main, number 10.
We drove down to the campground.
Good work. You can show me around from 7th and thing.
1941.
There was no damage over that way.
10-4. Zero 5 622. Go ahead.
You 10-4 out there? Or you want me to head that way? I'm not too far from you.
10-4.
Come on.
All right, guys, I am still here. I'm trying to find additional feeds.
605.
605.
Finished checking that address. Bicycle wasn't there. Fall on scene. RP approached me and advised that he had located that bicycle a short distance away. I'll get that bulletin updated and changed. You can show me 1098, 1080.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to post breaking news on that new Discord thing that we're putting up, definitely just check your source. Just kind of try your best to make sure we got a good source. Let's see. Breaking news only. And I will put I'll put a descriptor in there later that explains it. What the fuck? Is there something wrong with my button? Oh, it won't let me use capitals. That's stupid. I hate shit like that. All right, there, I created it. And I'm moving it to the top right under general. Okay, so there we go. It's in there. Later tonight, I will write a little thing in there that explains what we're using it for and all that. And I'll put it in there to hopefully that will help. That will help with the whole thing. I don't know. I got to figure out a way to do this because I don't want to miss the possibility of getting breaking news or something, you know? So we got to figure something out. And that's kind of where I'm at as far as figuring something out. All right, I'm going to get that one video switched out there, but in the meantime, we'll do a quick reset here. Hello, everybody. My name's Ian. This is Starship Studios, and we are providing live coverage tonight of a situation that is going on in South Dakota. And so we're going to go ahead and keep you guys in the main grid here. We do have a number of storm chasers out there in all different sorts of vehicles and 2 or 3 different networks. We're following a bunch of different storm chasers right now. And so stay with us out there as we go through the evening here. I will be following the storms also on the scanner as well. And that's what you're listening to.
16 and 46, north of Lake in town there.
We're just going to pick up the wheel.
622 to stand by. RP's on the phone. She's giving us some information that you need to know before making contact.
Yeah, the temperature dropped severely and wind and rain out this way. Definitely got
Oh, BJ, thank you very much. You didn't have to do that, but I do really appreciate it. Thank you. Makes a difference, I'll tell you. Just so you guys know, we roll 100% of the money we make here on YouTube. It's a modest amount of money. It's not a lot, but we roll the money we make on YouTube back into this studio 100%. So I do really appreciate it. And when you do contribute or when you watch in the commercials, come on, just remember that you're helping us buy equipment and get things going in here. So I do appreciate it. Thank you, BJ. Appreciate it. All right, and I'm also, I was going to add about 3 or 4 people tonight to the moderators list. So, guys, if I add you to the moderator list, just do me a favor and remember that when it comes to my mods, I don't want heavy moderation. I want light moderation only when they're spamming or using horrible racial slurs or something like that. I really don't want a lot of speech policing at all. If we can help it. But anyway, so but yeah, Carl and BJ, I just made you mods. Thank you very much for coming in every night. I appreciate that.
Reporting party just called back and said there are code 32 issues with this subject as well.
Did it not work?
82622, copy. 626 copies.
North side of town and clear skies behind us almost, so far so good.
Yeah, I see they extended that warning through Davison County into Hanson. I think we can stand down. I don't think there's any threat.
Yeah, I kind of a general thunderstorm here at this point.
Amber on HP 77, 10-7. Have a good night. 10-3 as well. Thanks.
Gurkowski and Schley, why don't you guys go ahead and stand down?
Ten-4.
Six 2282.
Good.
Just a 1078. The RP wanted you to give her a call before making contact with a 1012M at that residence.
I copy. I'm not at my car right now. I'm trying to find the apartment.
10-4.
All right, guys, and as always, if things slow down later, I do have some commentary tonight. I've got something prepped up I'd like to talk to you guys about later. I'd like to tell you guys about the 1964-1965 World's Fair in Flushing, New York. Some really neat stuff. I've been researching this event for several years now, and I just would like to talk to you guys about it. So if we have time tonight, if not, we'll do it tomorrow night. I do have commentary for later. So let's see if this calms down. I think there's a chance this may calm down, and it may not. We still have a lot of pink out here to go through, if you can see what I mean here. We've got all this pink out ahead of this thing, and you guys can see here on the radar. I'm on the radar down there, and you can see. Let me pull up my pin, and this pink circle that you see here. See, I'm drawing around it. That is the area where we could see the worst. Now, the areas with the red hash marks, that's pretty bad too, but that pink area, that is the highest warning. This is a very dangerous situation tonight. And this line of storms that you see right here is going to be progressing this way through the night, down this way. And until it gets past Mason City over here, we could see tornadoes, derecho or strong line winds, straight line winds. We also could see a lot of lightning and flash flooding. And we do have flood warnings. I do have flood warnings turned on now. They're green. Green is flood warnings. Yellow is flash flood warnings, okay? I've got all that on so you can see everything that's going on out there. Look at that storm down here, lower left, the second one up there. Look at that shot he's getting. It's amazing. All right, guys, and for those just joining us, we are covering two different situations here tonight. There's not a lot to tell, but we are, in fact, covering two different situations. The other one is going to be the shooting situation in New York. And I'm going to give you guys a complete rundown of that here in just a minute.
It's going to be on the west side of the building.
Yeah, we're just going to advise it's right through the alley.
Looks like east, and most of it's going into Nebraska, it looks like, but it's a little all over here by Greenberg.
I can advise.
10-4.
10-4.
$328.
320.
1078. We East Central Davidson County's in a thunderstorm warning till 8:30.
Okay, guys, here's what we got going on. The shooting in New York. Here's what we got going on with that. It occurred it occurred earlier this evening at 345 Park Avenue. That's right near East 52nd Street. The building houses offices of Blackstone and the NFL, as well as KPMG and other firms. I don't know if it's KPMG. I don't know if that's a TV station. Generally, they would start with a W, but that's not always true. On this side of the, you guys know that most TV stations and radio stations east of the Mississippi start with a W. Most of them west start with a K. All right, police were alerted around 6:28 p.m. local time. A large emergency response instantly followed, including tactical units. The suspect is reportedly armed with an assault rifle. They used that term way too broadly. I'm sure it was a modern-style hunting rifle. It was probably not. It did not have any kind of repeating action, so it was not an assault rifle. But they'll call it that anyway because it sounds bad. He also wore a bullet-resistant vest, and this has also been corroborated by surveillance footage. At least 3 individuals. Actually, we know now there's 6 individuals shot. 4 civilians and 2 officers. One of them has passed. He has not survived it. The other one is in the hospital. The officer that didn't make it was assigned the security detail at that building. He was shot in the back and died of his injuries. The shooter barricaded himself on the 33rd and 34th floor before fatally shooting himself. Authorities confirmed he is deceased and the scene is being processed. Building evacuation, there was a shelter-in-place order issued. About 100 people sheltered in place. Others were escorted out with hands raised. Mayor Adams and authorities urged nearby residents and workers to avoid the area. Surrounding streets in Park Avenue and East 51st and 52nd Street were blocked. Subway station and surface roads experienced closures and delays throughout the area. There was a massive law enforcement presence with dozens of NYPD tactical units and FBI units that did respond, and many of them are still on the scene. You can see that live shot there, upper right square there on the screen. You can see that. The command post was set up while bomb squads swept the building to make sure there was no devices. Let's see, the tactical units and FBI also responded. Building tenants impacted include major firms like Blackstone, NFL headquarters, KPMG, and that might not be, I don't know what that is. That's some kind of firm, and the Dutch Bank. Let's see, all were placed on immediate lockdown during the incident. The scene was secured by 8 o'clock. NYPD Commissioner Titch confirmed the incident was contained by 8, no longer an active situation. People inside the lobby heard a barrage of gunshots and reported tactical style fire. Some sheltered in bathrooms and kitchens while law enforcement worked floor to floor to clear the building. There is no known motive at this time. Investigators have not confirmed why the suspect carried out the attack. His identity remains undisclosed at this time, and his background is under review. The medical status, one civilian remains in critical condition. The others are all expected to recover. Ongoing updates are pending from hospitals about the victims. Mayor Adams and Governor Hochul posted public safety warnings on X. Their remarks included condemnation and reoccurring shelter-in-place advice. Federal involvement. The FBI, the New York field office, is active at the scene, assisting investigations. Coordinating efforts are ongoing between local and federal KPMG is a technology provider. Thanks, Ding Ding. I did not know that. At first, I thought it was a TV station, but it's on the wrong side of the Mississippi. Yeah, more than likely an AR style, what they call an AR style weapon, which is another thing I can't stand, but it's still better than assault rifle. Surveillance video captured the suspect entering the tower with the rifle. Evacuation was ordered floor by floor. Coordination efforts are ongoing between local and federal investigators and authorities. Normal business operations in the area have been suspended until further notice. Broadcast team streamed a video of the evacuation and police air units overhead. See, this is what we talked about the other day. Remember the stabbing situation in Walmart? And we never did get any video. It took forever to get the few little clips that we got. There was never a live video, not once. The news coverage was terrible, whatever. There's two big differences between that incident and this incident. Two big differences. Anybody want to guess what they are? And I'll tell you what they are. There's two big differences. Number one, this happened on a Monday. That happened on, what was it, Saturday or Sunday? I think it was Saturday. That happened on a Saturday. Nobody working in the newsroom on Saturday. Okay? So that's the number one thing right there. Nobody working in the newsroom. And then the second thing is, one happened in the largest TV market in the world. The other one happened in a small middle market somewhere. And so again, that's why we're seeing a very different kind of coverage on this. They're still canvassing the area. Chats, videos, they're trying to get as much information as they can on what happened. No arrests or affiliations have been confirmed. And as I said, the motive is still under review. And there you go. That's the latest. Yeah, all that's pretty common stuff. And I'm going to explain what I meant when I said what I said about assault rifle. An assault rifle is a weapon of war. Okay, weapons of war are illegal, and what makes it a weapon of war is one thing: does it have a repeating action? Does it fire one round every time you pull the trigger? If the answer is yes, then it is not a weapon of war. It's not an assault weapon. If you pull the trigger and it fires 3-round burst, 2-round burst, full auto, any of that kind of stuff, that's a weapon of war. You have to have a special stamp and permit just to own the thing and to keep the thing and to shoot the thing. So that's something totally different. None of the mass shootings that happened in the last 20 years have happened with an actual weapon of war. with a weapon that had full auto or some kind of repeating. The only thing that came close was the Las Vegas shooter, and he used a trigger device that allowed the recoil of the gun to basically fire the next round. And they summarily outlawed those right after that. But that's that's it. So I don't care that they use it. It's scary vernacular. You know, I'm in the media, and I don't like what the media specifically does by calling things by scary words and scary vernacular. Okay, it is what it is. Semi-auto and full auto are absolutely two completely different things. A semi-automatic means the semi-automatic part is it reloads the next bullet. That's all that means. It reloads the next bullet. The full auto part, if it's full, then that means it not only loads the next bullet, but it fires the next bullet. It's two completely different things. One is legal, one is not. One requires a very, very hard to get specific license to own. The other does not. And so that's why I'm not trying to pull semantics here with you guys. I'm serious when I say, let's just call it what it is. Okay. It's if you want to call it a big scary gun, whatever. I just hate when they use terminology specifically to get people to draw a conclusion or whatever else. You know, it's wrong. And as journalists, we should strive for better. We should strive to do that. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen, Aquarius. Let me tell you something. You know, I don't mean to sound like one of these gun people but I am. I do believe in the right to hold and bear arms. The moment you try to outlaw guns, only the bad guys will have them. That's why I just don't understand that logic. It does not work. Yeah, you can say it all you want, but a guy went on a knifing rampage the other day. Another guy drove through a crowd 2 days before that, and another week before that, another person drove through a crowd. So we're not going to get through this by banning weapons, whether it's cars, knives, or guns. We're not going to get through this by banning weapons. We're going to get through this by having infrastructure in place, being prepared, civilians that are armed, off-duty police that are armed, quick and rapid response systems. These are the things that solve this. You know, we've done good with our schools here. We have a guardian program here where they actually allow, in our schools, people can, the staff in the school can go and take extra training. It's like 80 hours. And it just deals with one thing, and that's that. And then they can carry on campus. We have metal detectors. We do everything here that we're supposed to do in this state, and we have very few incidents. We've had one really bad situation. I think that what really needs to happen is it all comes down to preparedness, because you're never going to put the genie back in the bottle. We can't stop selling cleaners because people make bombs with it. We have to find ways to be ready, ways to respond, and of course ways to stop it before it even happens. That's a big one. I think it's really important to try to stop these things before they even happen. And a lot of times we can do that with good investigative work or whatever else. So I am pro common sense. The rest of it I don't care about. I am pro common sense. I want common sense that will help save children, save lives, save everybody. But I don't ever approach a situation by saying we just have to ban everything, or we just have to stop everything, or we just have, because what ends up happening, you can't do that. So if we're clamoring on about us, if we're clamoring on over and over and over saying, hey, what we got to do is this, what we got to do is this, what we got to do. No, it's not, you can't do it. So it's not helping. We have to find what's going to actually help the situation. And there's no, there's no amount of control or laws. Let me give you an example. Marijuana has been illegal for many, many years. Finally, they gave up. It's just becoming illegal everywhere. It's legal here now. It's medicinal. You can buy it at the head shops. It's pretty much completely legal here now. It's legal in 26, 27 states. There's been no change in anything. There's been no, the violence, the murder statistics, everything. So what you're basically seeing is all this time something's been illegal that didn't need to be illegal, and they've tried to stop it for all these years, and guess what? It's more readily available today than it's ever been. They tried to stop all the hard drugs. I'm completely against hard drugs. They tried to stop all the hard drugs. They put everybody in jail that's ever been caught with any of the bad drugs, and I'm not going to go through the list. You know what they are. They've gone through and they've tried to put everybody in jail that they can catch with these narcotics, these barbiturates, these horrible things, and where's it gotten them? Our prisons are full. Our streets are full of junkies. We're finding them dead in the ditches. It didn't change anything. All it did was spend a whole lot of our tax money. And so what we should have learned from the war on drugs or the war on poverty or the war on terror whatever it is, whichever war it is that the government's fighting, what you're going to find is they never win. There's never an ending to it. And if they do a war on guns or a war on knives or whatever the next war is they're going to do, it's not going to stop anything. It's not going to prevent anything. All it's going to do is make something that a lot of people do illegal now. And it's going to be something that they're going to have to, that they'll get in trouble for and go to jail for and things like that. So that's all I'm saying. I just don't, I don't think that,
Rotation goes from the northeast of Alexandria to...
well, everyone's not choosing to use guns, Aquarius. Out of the last 10, here, I'll look it up. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, all right, 3. So about 3 out of 4 mass casualty incidents are caused by some kind of gun. Now, if you split that down into guns, you've got a number that are handguns, a number that are shotguns, and you've got another number that is assault weapons. So it splits it out. But 1 in 4 mass casualty incidents are caused by a car or a knife or a chemical or a needle or whatever they're using. So basically, I actually thought it was a little higher than that. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I thought it was a little higher than that. I'm glad I looked it up. It's about 1 in 4, and but here's the problem. What would you do today, if you were the president today? What would you do? And let's not say president. Let's say this is a place where you're just completely in charge. You're the king, okay? And your constituents every now and then go berserk and shoot each other. 2/3 of them own a firearm. Many of them own safes full of firearms. What are you as the king going to do? And this is where you run into a situation where I got to do something. So what they normally do after a bad situation is they'll ban a bump stock, or they'll ban a silencer, or they'll ban a certain kind of thing, a certain length of capacity on the magazine or the clip, and they'll do these kind of things that really don't make any difference at all because they have to do something. But the point is what else could you do? Let's say you wanted to do something. What else could you do? The cops are the biggest advocates for everybody owning a gun. You're going to tell the cops they got to go out and get everybody's guns? That's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. Okay? It doesn't matter what side I'm on or what side you're on. Let's just be realistic about the situation, all right? You can't go out and take the guns back. You can't. They're out there. Pandora's box is open, okay? So what's left? Well, it's just like fire. Fire's out there. Your house might catch on fire. And if it does, you have to have a smoke alarm, or maybe a sprinkler system, a fire department right down the street. We spend a lot of money every year being prepared for fire, okay? And this is the same thing. We have to be prepared, just like we are for fire. We have to be prepared for these situations too. I don't see this as any different. Has nothing to do whether I like or hate guns. Has nothing to do with whether I'm afraid of guns or not. It has nothing to do with the fact that I used to be a cop and now I'm in the media and I kind of see things from some unique perspectives here. But all I'm saying is, if we're going to get into a chat room and argue about guns, understand something. Putting Pandora back in the box is not on the table. It's not on the table. Regardless of how I feel, how you feel, how everybody feels, we could take a vote. It doesn't matter. In this country, we have a constitution. The Constitution allows people to have their guns. And as long as they have those, they're going to be able to keep those. And nobody's going to change the Constitution. So let's just stop the whole guns are bad, guns are scary, guns are going to kill everybody. None of that helps the situation, okay? And stopping people in the future from buying guns doesn't really do that much. But if you want to background check people, fine. I don't care. I'm serious. I don't care. Go ahead, background check people. Make them wait 3 days. Take out some of the loopholes, whatever you feel you got to do. But at the end of the day, none of that will save a life. What will save a life is a facility that's prepared, a staff that's prepared, the public that's prepared, law enforcement that's trained and prepared, a communication system that's tried and true. That's what's going to save lives. A plan, a program involving locking doors, involving key cards and access control. There's even some new stuff coming out on the market. There is a company right now that Ron DeSantis, my governor, is working with. They're going to put drones. They're going to test this out in schools. They're putting drones in schools. Armed. They're armed with non-lethal weapons. And when a situation is reported, people who are not on site, people who have trained with these things for thousands of hours, dial in. They have the map of your school come up on one side. They have all the info on the school on the other side. They're looking out the drone. They've got a 180-degree view out the front of the drone. They have several weapons at their disposal, including spikes that they can actually run the drone into somebody. The drone fires pepper balls. It also has the ability to breach glass. It's got these spikes out in front of the propellers so that if it goes through glass, it'll break through the glass. It's amazing. This thing's amazing. It comes out of the ceiling and flies down the hallway and takes the guy out. I'm thinking, this is what does it. Not gun control, not scaring people on the nightly news. It's technology that's going to fix this problem. All right? It's trained people and trained machines that are going to solve this problem. You know, and we're getting there. The metal detectors are getting better every year. We're able to screen people better every year. We're able to find ways to do things better every year. The locking mechanisms that do automatic locking and stuff get cheaper every year. These whole school systems where we can lock down and unlock things at remote locations gets cheaper every year. Any kind of automation, AI, anything like that, any kind of technological offense or defensive thing that we can put in place is being developed, getting cheaper, and going to be available. And that is what we have to do to save people's lives. That's what we have to do. Coming and just always talking about banning guns, controlling guns, taking back the guns. We're just wasting our time talking about that stuff. Let's talk about some things we can actually change. And that is making the places safer. You know? I know it sounds scary. It's like RoboCop, you know? You can see the big RoboCop thing coming down. You know, I get it. I understand the whole AI thing being scary and killing everybody. The one I was looking at, the AI is flown by a human. There's no the drones are flown by humans. Basically, the navigational system will take you to the shooter using shot spotter technology, and that sounds. There'll be a microphone in every room, and they'll know exactly what room the shot goes off in. Bam! The drone comes out of the sky by the time the second shot's fired, and he's already en route. While the drone's en route to the bad guy, the operator is sitting down in the seat and getting ready. He comes around the corner. There's the bad guy. He starts pelleting him with pepper balls and then just fires the thing right into him. I know it's crazy, but you know what? Crazy times brings crazy measures. And that's where we're at. That's correct, PHX. That's correct. There's countries out there that guns are so illegal that you'll do 10 or 20 years just for having one, and there's shootings every day. Like I said, look at all the street drugs that are illegal, and you can get them all right here in my neighborhood. It's ridiculous. Nothing they've ever made illegal has stopped. So why? We have to find a way to work the problem without, this and that. I'm sure I've upset Aquarius. I hope you're still listening out there, dude. Please don't be a one-issue guy with me now. All right? I'm not some kind of big lefty or big righty here. I just, there's certain things. I'm a realist. I'm a libertarian that believes that the government has never fixed anything. And I'm a realist that believes that you cannot put the genie back in the bottle. You can't. So we need to find a way to fix the problem with the current set of circumstances and not just keep yelling to do something else, because it's not going to work. All right. Yeah, I know. Even in the UK, there's actually in areas over there where they're trying to ban carrying knives. The regulation on how big a knife can be is it's crazy. And yep, I'm a libertarian. That doesn't mean I'm anti-government. I am not anti-government. I'm actually pro-proper policing. Boy, you put that middle word in there, it gets a little sticky. But we need police. I just think the way it's being done right now is pretty bad. We need to take, there's things we need to do. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but there's things we need to do. All right, so let's go back. Let's check our storms. We've got some great shots coming in. You guys know what happens as the sun starts to set, the sun angle starts to come down towards the horizon, and we start to get these really dramatic shots. And you can see there a number of those views there with the really dark, ominous clouds. It's not that those clouds are any darker than normal. It's just that the sun angle makes them look like the end of the world right down the street. Okay, the upper right, that is still live. That's in Midtown Manhattan, where we had a mass casualty incident earlier, and an officer has lost his life. And we are continuing to monitor that. There's 5 others injured, including another officer. I'll do another rundown on that here before long. We're also watching this complex of storms that's approaching Sioux Falls. And it's going to cross the Mississippi here before long and go into, Nebraska and, oh my God, I always forget. Let's see here. Wow. I hate when they do that. Anyway, Christ, whatever. Let's just move on. Minnesota. I'm sorry, I could not come up with the state. It's South Dakota, right here. And then we're moving into Minnesota. Minnesota looks to be where it's going to be the worst tonight, right here, because that's we're almost to the border here We're moving into Minnesota, and that's where it's going to get the worst of it tonight, I think. Look at that. And there's our storm chasers out there. We've got a number of storm chasers. They're getting us some great views. We just haven't had a tornado yet. You know, when I became a cop back in 1990, there was 7 law books. There was about, a volume was about this big. It was like 7 books and the one index at the end. It was about that big in 1990. 35 years later, if you were to get that book in hardback printed form like we used to get, it would fill this entire wall. It'd be like 42 volumes. We write laws way too fast. We're not using them or enforcing them. We're just writing them. And then these laws end up tripping people up and causing hardship later on. I really don't like that. Okay. Wow, that is a neat shot there in the upper left. All right, and I'm continuing to check for any other live feeds out there that are coming in for anything else that's going on. Nope. Well, all right, guys, I will be back in just a minute. Just give me a few minutes here.
D605, 10-6 speeding.
2024.
CD152Bs in a row. 10-4.
Two 622.
622.
I added some notes to the call. You show both units, 1098, 108.
2025.
Two A's, bro. 528, you have to stay on the highway. Stay on the highway.
CD152F is on scene. 2F is on scene.
10-4. Do we need another vehicle, or is
We still have no tornado warnings, but this one here is starting to starting to hook up a little bit. Let's take a look at this one on radio velocity. Yeah, we've got rotation here. We got some rotation here. These guys are watching this rotation right here. I mean, there's a couplet there for sure. Why that's not tornado warned, I don't know. Because that sure does look like a couplet to me. You know, I'm not a meteorologist. I just play one on TV, but that looks like one to me right there. Let's get the Minneapolis radar, and then that's nothing. Let's get the Sioux Falls radar. That's really close, which sometimes is bad. So yeah, it's still a little division there, but yeah, I mean, this one, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But we're going to keep on going here. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to do a rundown in a few minutes. We're going to do an update for what's going on in New York. If you're just joining us, we are in South Dakota, moving into Minnesota, and we're watching severe weather with a bunch of storm chasers we've got on the ground. We're also covering a situation in Midtown Manhattan. We've had a shooting situation go down there, and we're trying to endeavor for more information there. But the suspect there is in custody or dead, one or the other. And yeah, he's fatally shot himself. So yeah, he's definitely done. He barricaded himself on the 33rd and 34th floor, fatally shooting himself. Authorities confirmed he is deceased. So there you go. And I did get 2 or 3 different reports on that, but I think that's the final word on that. Yep, and so I'll go back through that here in just a little while, but we are watching that. This happened in the building that houses the NFL and also Blackstone, KPMG, and also other firms. Well, there you go, Aquarius. I got to tell you, I can't dispute you on that. It is an interstellar traveler, and we don't know where it come from. And, you know, it's traveling at such a speed that the people would have had to be in there for a very long time if there's anything still alive in there. But see, what a lot of people don't realize is if you're going to send a ship, you're not going to send it full of people. If your world's dying, they covered this in Star Trek, of course. If your world's dying, you're not going to try to send 10 people, the 5 brightest men and the 5 brightest women like they do in all the dumb movies. If you really want Earth to survive, what you would probably do is if there's nothing else you could do to save humans, we're done. Our sun's going to explode. We're done. We're all dead. And we're going to send an interstellar traveler away. What would we put on there? What could live? Well, our genome. We would have to preserve our genome and the genome of the plants and animals on the planet and put them on there so that they could be then recreated and revived by other people later on. I know that's crazy, but when you get down to that's all you can do, that's all you can do. And I've always wondered if one of these interstellar travelers like this one we're talking about here, the Atlas, if this was truly if this truly is an interstellar traveler that was sent here on purpose, and it's entering our atmosphere, it's entering our solar system from interstellar space, chances are the only thing on there that would still be alive would be something like I just said, something that's preserved in that way. Now, if these are advanced races, could they build stasis pods, or if you're in England, stasis pods, where I get that from Space 1999. I always got a kick out of how they say stasis. But anyway, if they have some kind of advanced stasis where they can put something away for 100,000 years, but we're talking tens of thousands of years to travel at this rate from there to here. And then when it gets here, what does it do? It doesn't have any way of stopping. It's going to fly right through. Our sun is going to alter its trajectory, but it's going to fly through our solar system and exit the other side. Okay, gunman identified as Shane Tumara. We don't need to say it too many times. Yes, according to official reports, the gunman in the Midtown Manhattan mass shooting was identified just moments ago as Shane Tamura, Tamura. He is named by law enforcement as a 27-year-old suspect who entered the Park Avenue office tower armed with an AR-15 style weapon, body armor, and opened fire before fatally shooting himself on the 33rd floor. The attack resulted in at least 5 deaths. It's resulted in at least 5 deaths. This is new information, including an off-duty NYPD officer. I'm going to have to verify that because that's not what I've got over here on this other page. So let me just take a peek around here and see. Nope, that is correct. 1 NYPD officer fatal, 4 civilians fatal. That I can confirm that. That's confirmed through Fox and CNN. So if they're both agreeing on something, it's got to be correct. Okay, that's funny. I don't care who you are. Yes, I'll do it. I got my Discord right here. Give me a second. There's the Discord, and I just added the Discord category for breaking news. I haven't got the descriptor in yet, but that's going to be only for high-level breaking news events. I'm going to come out with the exact verbiage tomorrow, and then I'm going to set my alerts so that you guys can actually use it to alert me. We're going to try this for a little while. Now, MSNBC just had some big budget cuts. They're probably Memorex right now. Or is it the one day a week that Rachel Maddow comes in? Yep, there you go. As far as Discord, guys, I do Discord. I just started using it 5 days ago, so bear with me. I do like it so far. Fairly straightforward. I've got it up over here. There's VJ right there. Wave to say hi, it says. So I keep this up right over here on this screen. You can see behind me. I actually keep up Discord on the general tab. I may make another tab that's just for in-show links and stuff. I think I'm going to probably do that tomorrow too. I'll make a tab for in-show links and a show for breaking, and one for breaking news only. I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to get political. Oh, is there a presser? Hold on.
In the news business, we have gone through situations like this before.
I don't think they've started that yet, have they? I think they're waiting to go to that coverage here. Hold on. That's Nevada. Jesus.
A2, out for 1044.
Out of 4.
I'll be out at Foster and 250th Street, South Dakota plate 9, John 7944. 9, John 7944, South Dakota.
Foster 250th was 9, John
And
7944.
we are here to just first give our prayers to the family member of one of our partners in public safety that was struck twice with a bullet. Thank God that he's still with him and receiving the care from this excellent hospital, Harlem Hospital. And I could not help but to remember being here when Officer Mora and Rivera were executed and they were brought here to the hospital, and hearing the loud cries of their family by Police Commissioner Tisch, Deputy Mayor Daughtry, and Director Russo from the Customs and Border Patrol. And we are here to just first give our prayers to the family member of one of our partners in public safety that was struck twice with a bullet. Thank God that he's still with him and receiving the care from this excellent hospital, Harlem Hospital. And I could not help but to remember being here when Officer Mora and Rivera were executed and they were brought here to the hospital, and hearing the loud cries of their family members. Public safety is a dangerous
That is the wrong
assignment.
Damn.
And all of us who have done
Disregard
it,
that.
who are currently doing it, we do it with the full understanding, not only on duty, but off duty. The danger still.
Damn it. I hate things that are mislabeled. Man, it's getting hot in here. All right, well, I'm watching this. We're going to take it when we can.
I'll just get more sympathize.
District Attorney Alvin Bragg is there as well, and the mayor is.
All right. All right, give me just a second, guys. I'm working on this. It looks like they're about to go to it. I don't think it has started yet. I'll keep the scanners on in the meantime, and I'm trying to get this all set up, so bear with me.
2121.
Yeah, they're saying they're expecting this news conference any minute now, and we will have it. We will have it.
528, you can head back to the fire hall. 528, you can head back to the fire hall.
All right, I'm watching this. They're going to be going to this coverage here, so I'm just going to leave this up. We'll take it as soon as they get into the coverage.
52B, we were going to fill this up. 2B, we were going to fill this up.
Oh, wow, we're hearing everything twice all of a sudden. Okay, guys, we are following. Well, PHX, it's pouring rain there.
Hey, Dynamite.
Yeah, it's starting in about 20 minutes. We are watching it here on Fox 5.
East George 2739. East George 2739.
We are covering the shooting out of New York, Midtown Manhattan. We're also covering live storm trackers with tornadoes in South Dakota. And we're covering both currently. So stay with us. All right, I'm opening that link now. Dang, let me see what we got here.
I'm 10-4.
2042.
Oh, wow, that's him? Oh, shit. All right, guys, that center video you're seeing there, that's him. Is what I'm being told. I can't verify completely, but that's what I'm being told here. Thank you, Ding, for the link. That's the guy right there, huh? All right, well, I don't want to disparage the guy if that's not him, but we're being told that's him.
How'd you guys come through? We definitely had to stay disciplined. We were down 10-0. We definitely had to stay disciplined. Our coach kept saying, don't hold your heads down, don't hold your heads down. We just had to stay disciplined and come together as a team. Shane.
Wow, that's a little crazy. I wonder. Ooh. Oh man.
2043.
Security for a while. Then one he's gonna come cover for a while tonight as well.
Yeah, Anthony, you got a copy?
8152F will be clear the same.
Aquarius, the answer is yes. Yes. I know two people that are over 200 IQ and they both carry. The smarter you are, the more likely you are to carry a gun. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't agree with you on that because that has not been my experience. That's all I can say. It's anecdotal. But I also don't believe that. I just don't believe that's the way it is. And guns don't fix anything except when, like the other day at Walmart, when that stabbing was going on, and the man drew his legally carried, that civilian drew his legally carried concealed weapon and held the man at gunpoint and stopped the stabbing. It would have kept going. It could have went on and got 10 more people, but that man held him at gunpoint. So that's the logic there is, yeah, we never would have been able to keep that man from having a knife, but we sure were allowed to have that other man to have a gun so he could stop the situation in its tracks. So we have to work on controlling what we can control and not worry about controlling things we can't control. You're never going to put the genie back in the bottle, so we have to concentrate moving forward on what we can fix. Evil people are the problem. Guns are not the problem. Guns are simply a tool. An evil person can use a hammer or a knife or a car and do just as much damage. It's just people are lazy and they generally gravitate towards a GUN. Anyway, the point is all I'm trying to say is, I'm not even saying you're 100% right or wrong, okay? All I'm saying is we have to stay rational about the solution. Just keep saying over and over, guns are bad, guns are evil, guns are bad, guns are evil. And 100 years from now, phasers are bad, phasers are evil. There'll always be something you can put in your hand and hurt somebody with. Okay? And it's going to be up to us to do all the things necessary to prevent those things and to be able to stop them when they start happening. Because you're never going to put the genie back in the bottle, so why keep talking about it? You can look at countries like England where they tried to put the genie back in the bottle and ends up now only the bad guys have guns. And when something starts over there, there's nobody around to stop it. So life is vicious cycles. That's what it's all about. But any kind of controlling of guns or controlling the buying or slowing down the purchasing or making the less rounds in a magazine or banning bump this and silence that, and when you get down to the bottom line, none of that has saved anybody. What saved people was someone with a concealed carry permit. That's what saved people. What say, and I, you know, like I said, I'm not a big gun guy. I've got a couple, but I'm not a big gun guy. But I believe in my right to have them and bear them. Sure. We now can carry down here constitutionally. We don't even need a license to carry guns down here now. And you know what? Crime went down again. Anytime they make it easier for law-abiding citizens to carry guns, the crime goes down. I don't know what else I can say. I mean, that proves it right there. I am talking about the problem. The problem is mental illness. And that mentally ill person will drive a car through Walmart if he can't get a knife. I mean, it doesn't matter. We can't focus on the weapon or the tool that's used. You need to focus on the cause and the effect. The storm cell looks artificial. I agree, it does. I was looking at it, I'm like, look at that. Oh, here's the guy doing push-ups again. I don't blame him, man. This guy drives all day long and all night. And he jumps out and does push-ups in the middle of the road. He does this everywhere he goes. Yeah, that storm cell was something else. Holy crap. Looks like AI generated or something. So, and you know, Aquarius, I understand. I mean, I'm not even, like I said, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that you can't fix it the way you want to fix it. It's like saying, hey, the apple pie, it tastes bad. Okay? And you want to fix it a certain way. You want to fix it by not using apples anymore. But then we won't have an apple pie. You have to do what you're doing. These things are already out there. The tools are out there. The cars, the knives, the guns, everything's already out there. And so we have to find a way to deal with people before it happens, which is, you know, if you've got somebody that's in a crisis, let's get them help. If you've got somebody, I'm not even totally against red flag stuff where most of your gun people are. I'm willing to talk about it and look at it. We've got a situation down here. If you beat up your wife, they're going to take your concealed weapon permit and your gun away. Okay? So, I mean, that's in place. It's there. They do it. They do it all the time down here. They do it a little too much down here, if you ask me. But they're doing it. So, okay, see, you keep saying that. There's a better way. Weapons are not the answer. That doesn't mean anything. You can say that all day long, that weapons are bad and we need to take all the weapons and send them into space. But none of that's going to ever happen. Nothing's going to ever be done like that. And all that talk, all it does is rile people up, and it doesn't ever achieve anything. If you want to achieve something, latch on to one of the things that will actually achieve something. Whether it's designing drones to take out shooters in schools, or whether it's working with mental health, or whether it's just, I don't know, helping people that need help. We have to find what we can each do. Or whether it's carrying a concealed weapon so that when it's your time to act, you're ready. I'm a former police officer. I was a deputy sheriff, okay? And I'm telling you guys that nothing stops a shooter except the shooter. That's it. And so,
if you're at the corner of 6th and F9, would be a large limb tangled up in the line. I'm not seeing any.
okay, yeah. We've made great progress, and we've made great progress in building guns that can kill more people faster. That just comes with the course. We actually have guns that can kill whole countries right now. I mean, we've got weapons that can level whole continents at this point. It's ridiculous what we've got and what everybody else has and what others are striving to get. It's ridiculous. But again, We can say all day long, we need to get rid of our nukes, and Russia needs to get rid of their nukes, and China needs to get rid of their nukes, and Iran needs to quit trying to make nukes. You can say that until you literally die saying it. And it will never change the fact that these three countries have nukes and that fourth one's working to get them. Nothing's going to change that. So is saying it over and over and over again, is that the hill you're going to die on? Let's find something else. Let's find, I don't know. I like to fight battles that I feel like I can win, and I feel like there's actually a solution out there. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all I'm saying is. And with guns, when you just keep saying they're all we get's more guns. More guns is bad. Bad guns. Guns evil. Evil guns. I get all that. And you know what? From your perspective, you're right. And from my perspective, you're not necessarily wrong. But I am telling you, it's not the guns, it's the people. I think we both agree on that, right? Guns don't jump up off the table and shoot people, right? They're going to dink me for this video tonight. I'm going to have to delete it because I've said all the bad words too many times. And yeah, Junior's right. Some people can't handle freedom. That's absolutely. Junior, why are you not coming up as a mod? I made you a mod.
It'll be Highway 37.
There we go. It should work now. If you guys come in for 2 or 3 weeks, I get to know you. I'll make you a mod. All I ask is you don't delete comments unless they're spamming or it's really disgusting, racial, disgusting, horrible stuff. Then I'm not going to allow too much of that. But I have a free speech chat room. And until you get to the point where you're causing mayhem in here, I'm going to let you talk. I don't ever delete messages and posts. I mean, Aquarius and I disagree on this point here, but we're having a good discourse about it. That's what it's all about. Yeah, YouTube has its moments, doesn't it? Anyway, look, we can agree on this. We can both agree that people need to quit pulling triggers, okay? And we can't put the genie back in the bottle, so let's just find another way to move forward. That's all I'm saying. And laws don't help either. We've already got laws. Murder's illegal. We've already got laws. Laws aren't going to fix this. Laws have never fixed anything. They keep things under control. You know, they got speed guns and speed cops and troopers and everything all out there. And yet I still get on the interstate and get in with a pack of cars that's doing 95 miles an hour. I'll look down and be like, holy shit, we're going 95 miles an hour. And there's 10 cars in front of me and 10 cars behind me who are running 2 lanes wide. And it's illegal. Everybody does it. It's one of those things where you got to pick your battles. It's like, you know.
Is there anything that you're seeing or hearing for another storm moving in? I got pretty good winds picking up.
And yeah, and please don't take things personally. That's why when I saw you stop posting earlier, I said, please don't be upset. Don't be upset because seriously, we can have a little disagreement. It's not a big deal. We're going to have more of those because I'm very opinionated. Press conference in 4 minutes. All right, we've got Fox 5 up. She is still talking to this guy out here, and it is live. So we will get that when it comes on. I'm able to turn up the volume on that upper center when it happens. So we will take that press conference live. So those of you that have joined us because of the shooting situation in New York, we're about to take a press conference coming out of Midtown Manhattan, and they're going to let us know what's going on with that. And as the sun sets in South Dakota, we are seeing our storm chasers being plunged into darkness. And so we're going to continue to watch that as the evening goes on. Maybe we'll still see a tornado here. All right, I'm waiting. This press conference is due to begin any minute now, and we are watching for that. This guy's got 106,000 people watching. Yeah, I'm a little envious. What can I tell you? Yeah, well, that's me, Aquarius. I used to die on hills all the time, and I've quit. I pick my hills. But then I like to come in here and just talk about it. I don't want to fight about it. I just like to talk about it. Because I think you and I can actually come to the middle on some of this stuff. I really do. Okay, it looks like they're at the hospital. That backdrop says New York Presbyterian. I'm sure that's a hospital. And there's a microphone. Microphone. Check. 1, 2. Hey, can you find a big picture of some guy sitting awkwardly in a chair and stick it on the right? Yeah, that'll work. That looks good. All right. Yeah, I'm being a smartass. I'm sorry. Well, Aquarius, it happens. I'm going to tell you why it happens. Because we're all animals. You know, we've only had technology for a very short period of time. We've only had industrialization for a short time. You know, this goes back to the caveman days of everything, of being hunted, being prey. The whole bullying thing, the whole robbery, burglary, the rape, everything. It's all about power with human beings. And as long as you have that, there's going to be people hurting people. And whatever tools are provided, that's what they're going to use. I don't either, Aquarius. And I think that people that do that should go to jail. Absolutely. I know that that justice rarely happens in this world. Another thing I'm not so happy with the government about. They always seem to be going after the wrong people. Well, they find a manifesto. That's always an interesting thing. If they find, now they came right out with his identification and information, which is interesting. Like I said last night, and people don't agree. Some people think I'm crazy, but I've been saying this. If the person is LGBTQIA2S+, or if the person is foreign, or if the person is Muslim, it'll take 5 to 7 days to find out. If the person is an American, specifically white male, but in this case he was a black male, but if he's just a regular American, like most of us here, they will come out with it within a few hours, or sometimes just 12 hours. And that's what's happened both in the stabbing, and that's what happened here. It turned out to just be a guy down the street an American citizen that lives here. And we always jump to that conclusion. It's Muslims. It's evil from across the world. It's evil. And you know what it is? It's some bum that's crazy is all it is. It's some homeless bum that's crazy, and he went nuts because he got caught shoplifting or some stupid shit. And this one today, this was some planned out thing. This guy had a beef with somebody. It's not terrorism, it's stupism. Whatever you want to call it. I get so sick of this stupid shit. But yeah, I wonder if they'll find a manifesto. I always wonder that. And then further, I wonder if they'll ever show it to us. We still have some we've never seen. Some of the ones we have gotten to see were leaked. Why did it have to leak? Well, because the government doesn't want to share it with us ever. A lunatic. Yes. That's in most cases what we're dealing with is a lunatic. And it had this guy not been able to get a hold of that gun, which, by the way, that gun would not have legally been sold in that state. So he went somewhere else and got it probably and brought it in. So this is all premeditated, which means you're not going to stop it. He could have bought an illegal gun from a guy down the street. So you're not going to stop it with laws. You're not going to stop him having the gun. But let's say we did stop him from having the gun. He'd have just waited till the guy he was going there to do walked out of the building, and he'd have run him over. Or he'd have went up there with 2 machetes or whatever, or a bomb. Even worse, he might have done something that would have killed even more people. So I look at guns as a tool. That's the tool that the tool the man chose. It's like the plumber. He can use a channel lock, or he can use a pipe wrench. What do you think works best? Lunatic. Where is this press conference? What is the deal? Boy, those scanners have quieted down. All right, let me work on that. I'm going to move this over to this screen because I need to keep an eye over here for the press conference. Let's see where we're at now. We have a radar indicated tornado warning. EAS activation requested. This is a tornado warning for Lincoln, Turner, and Union in South Dakota. Lincoln, Turner, and Union. Let me see what I can get. Oh, that sucks. Oh, well, I'll just create a new one. All right. Actions, add feed. United States. This is not the easiest thing to do in a hurry, is to pull this stuff up. We're looking at Lincoln, Turner, and Union. Lincoln, Turner, and Union. All right, I've added Lincoln.
No, warning is now in effect, specifically for Newtales area. Be on the lookout south side.
The next one is Turner. Nope, nothing there. And Union. I got Sioux Falls fire. All right, I'm putting one on the left, one on the right, and we are playing them both. There we go. That's for this current tornado warning. We also have storm chasers on this one. I don't know, this guy using like a low lux camera or what? He's still got a lot of color in the sky there. It's pretty much gotten dark. I'm not sure even where he's at. That's him down there. The reason is, I guess, because he's way away. He's away from the storm at this point. That's what it looks like live. So that, yeah, that's proper. That's what the sky looks like from there. All right, and then let's go back and take a look at this thing on the high-res reflectivity. Put it in motion. It's not all that impressive right this minute. I hate when they can't get their act together on these damn press conferences. Let's listen to what she's saying for just a minute here.
They are allowed to do that when they're off duty. You see that quite frequently when you go into some of these office buildings here around the city. I'm sure some of you folks watching at home, you've been in the city, you've seen that as well. But again, the mayor's supposed to be having a news conference shortly, and he will be updating us on exactly what happened and the condition of those who were shot. back inside to you.
Yeah, I'm glad that Matt is okay. Just such a terrifying ordeal today. All right, Linda, thank you so much. We want to head to Arthur Sheehan, who's live outside New York Presbyterian on the Upper East Side, where the victims were taken. Arthur, what are you seeing there? At last check with you, it was a very tense situation.
I know this is still a tense situation. You're right, we were outside the last time you saw us. We've just moved inside a building here at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center. This is 68th Street and York Avenue. This is where a number of officials are, as you can see behind us, are going to be speaking, giving a first briefing that we will witness about exactly what went down here. There are two locations that we're aware of where people were brought as a result of this shooting. We have this location here. We heard some people might have been brought over, some of the victims might have been brought over to Bellevue, but it's worth pointing out that there might also be victims still at the scene at that building, and those would be people who are beyond medical help. So there are actually 3 active scenes if we're going to talk about victims of this. As for who we do know is here is that police officer that Matt Adam has described seeing, who was brought here, learning things about the police officer. Our sources tell us he's relatively young to the NYPD, that he's been on the job for 4 years, which is considered a relatively short time for a police officer. We are told through multiple sources that he's assigned to the 4-7 precinct in the Bronx and that he was on this paid detail. This is something that's approved. Prior approval is required by the NYPD for them to work extra security jobs and to make some extra money on the side. Commercial businesses often hire these paid detail officers to beef up security. It's a uniformed officer. They're trained professionally, and he was there. Now, we've been talking about the nature of his injury. It obviously seemed very grave, and we'll get an update from the city's officials to give you official word on his condition, but certainly there is concern out here that it was not looking good. We've been showing you video of everybody who has been arriving here. There are countless police vehicles lining all the streets in every direction. This is a large hospital and is surrounded by police vehicles and city officials. We saw Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg arrive at around the same time. Eric Adams was arriving, and we saw other officials, high-ranking officials from the NYPD, including Chief of Department John Schell and several others. And it isn't just the NYPD, but we also see fire officials here. We also see, we also saw the president of the Police Benevolent Association arrive at around 8:15. His union represents patrolmen and presumably this officer as well. This will be a press conference that a lot of people talking, and we'll bring that to you as soon as that happens. But for now, we're live
promises.
At New York Presbyterian Weill Medical Center on the Upper East Side. We go back to you, Natasha.
Yeah, such a massive response to a situation like this. All right, Arthur, thank you so much. Kendall Green is also live in Midtown speaking with witnesses. Kendall, what did they have to say about the shooting as it was happening?
Yeah, hey, good evening, Natasha. Many of those witnesses that we spoke with, they were inside of another building when they were told to shelter in place. Now, many of them, they expected to be there just for a brief moment, but then they got the news that there was an active shooting situation going on. And then that's when the reality started to sink in, that they would be there for a while. And then you saw those worries. And those are the worries on the inside. Now, on the outside, we were talking to some spectators who were just sitting there watching this whole thing unfold, looking at their phones, watching that individual with that AR-15 just walk into the building, and those images showing just how brazen that crime was.
You realize, Aquarius, that we have less people getting killed by violence now than just about any other time in human history. I just wanted to point that out. If you take it all the way back, I mean, we've had millions and millions of people slaughtered, and when you look at today, it's almost the safest time ever in human history to live. I just wanted to put that out there.
In the area, but we're going to listen to one of those witnesses who outlined just what it was like just moments ago.
I have a lot of friends that work around here, so it's just crazy to hear things happening so close to you. Like, you hear about it on the news, but then when it's right there, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's literally the middle of the day, and I was walking, and I was seeing a whole bunch of people just casually walking, and all of the police cars and the firefighters and the helicopters going that way, and I'm looking around, I'm like, everybody's normal, but something, as a New Yorker, I'm like, something is definitely going on.
2 people getting dragged out by police. Not sure if it was the shooter or civilians, but I saw 2 people,
immediately put in an ambulance. Couldn't tell if they were alive or dead, but yeah, it's pretty scary.
I mean, and think about that. You're at work. You're seeing people get pulled out, taken into an ambulance, and you're really close to where you make a living.
I'm looking at the chat room on this video. It's hilarious.
The motive behind that. That's what we're hoping to find out. Many of the people, that was the major concern when we spoke to them, why this happened. Hopefully that press conference can give us some answers on that. I'll send things back to you.
Promises.
I wouldn't be surprised if people have PTSD from what they saw today. It's so incredibly scary. All right,
people
Kendall,
have
thank you so much.
PTSD because they've been sitting around waiting too long for a press conference. I think that's why they got PTSD. All right, we're going to come back to this in just a minute. Also, I got to find the new video for the upper right. I'm going to leave this up. We're just going to turn the volume down on it.
A couple of things stand out to me. You know, first of all, it appears
volume down, and I'm going to go back and put those 2 scanner feeds on that are in the area where that tornado warning is right now. This scanner's from right in this area, and I am watching for the moment we go to that press conference.
The local pool has a tornado shelter there.
Yep.
Ugh.
2 balls, HP 163, 1097 to 382.
Harrisburg Fire, acknowledge your stage. For Harrisburg Fire, use caution, land may still be energized.
Oh crap, I just thought about something, Ding. This building had the headquarters for the National Football League. Whoops. I don't know if there's any connection there. I do believe most people are good by nature because I believe most souls are good by nature. Yeah. They're saying that the press conference will be at 10 p.m. That was 15 freaking minutes ago. You know, I got to tell you, government is never on time because they don't have to be on time. I did my dissertation about press conferences the other night. You guys want to know how it's going to go? I'll tell you how it's going to go. He's going to come out. He's going to say, hey, I want to welcome everybody to the press conference. This is such a terrible thing to happen today. I want to introduce the people behind me over here is Chief so-and-so, Mayor so-and-so, Captain so-and-so, and we're going to be talking to you about the incident. And not really a lot we can say, you know, and then they really won't tell you a whole lot, and then they'll spend 15 minutes telling you about how the interagency cooperation was amazing, and everybody did their job so well, and everybody did things, and the whole purpose of a press conference is to give you information that you don't have, and at the end of the press conference, you won't have any information that you didn't already have. It's a ridiculous waste. But we're going to take this one because maybe they will. Sometimes they do have new information. Sometimes they will break information. So we're going to try it. Oh, I don't even know what's going on up there. All right, so we are waiting for the press conference.
Unexpired in the area of 4th and Elm for a down tree, possible down power line.
Well, I appreciate that, Aquarius, and I'm the same way. I love good company.
Unexpired needed in the area of 4th and Elm for a down tree, possible down power line.
Two balls, H2153. Make contact with the driver. They advise they have roadside on the way. They don't need a tow, they just need dug out of the ditch. Lieutenant. 1078. I did ask them if they want to ride into town, but they said they'd rather stay with the car. They've been advised to call the non-emergency number if something happens.
That could be true, Aquarius, but also a lot of times these people are planning to end it anyway, and so they decide they want to take somebody with them, and a lot of times that's what it is. And if this guy was an aspiring football player and he marches into the NFL headquarters and starts shooting the place up, you could probably do the math.
Never mind, now he finally moved. Go ahead and just continue up to the top of the hill. Go hang out by the county shop.
Video in the upper right is from earlier. This is a re-rack from earlier. Video in the upper center is Fox 5 New York. And we're waiting for the news conference. The rest of them are our storm chasers in South Dakota.
Go ahead, 2. We have 3 up here at Station 2. You want any equipment?
All right, I think we're about to go
At
here.
this time, I'm going to ask Station 2, hold put. 10-4, standing by.
Press conference starting. I'll get back to that question here, but we got to hear from these officials down on the ground there in New York City, outside New York Presbyterian Hospital. They are positioned behind the podium here. We don't want to bring up the microphone just yet. It does look like they are, though, getting into position. If I recognize anyone, I'll point them out to you. But as for now, remember, you saw on the scene not only NYPD officials, but also those from New York State Police. We also know that the FBI was assisting with the investigation. So federal law enforcement was also on the scene as well. And so they're just kind of positioning right now. So bear with us as we are about to see the principals step up to the microphone. I would imagine it's going to be Commissioner Tisch, also New York City Mayor Eric Adams. I'll also point out whether or not any other New York elected leaders will be on hand for this here. So, like I said,
they're 20 minutes late, by the way, for this press conference. Still 20 minutes late, and we still haven't got it going
an
yet.
office building there on Park and Lexington Avenues. It left at least 5 people dead. That is according to the Associated Press. One of those fatalities included an off-duty New York City police officer who, according to reports, from what we know, that officer off-duty was contracted with the security at the building. NYPD officers are free to do this with permission from the overall force, and that is why that off-duty officer was there. He was working as security for the building. We know that. We also know that the suspect in all of this was identified as Shane Tamura of Nevada. That's according to 2 people briefed on the investigation, telling that to the associates. Sources say he fatally shot himself. So I would imagine we're going to get some of these pieces of information, some of these details at this very press conference, though, here on Live Now. We do rely on Fox 5 New York, on the Fox News channel, and also on the Associated Press to bring you some of this reporting in real time when it is confirmed here. Now, the Fire Department of New York said emergency crews were called to the Park Avenue office building around 6:30 p.m. local time this afternoon for a report of someone shot. Remember, this is the headquarters of Blackstone, the major hedge fund. Also, the New York headquarters of the NFL there, too. So it does look like we are anticipating this press conference. Hasn't gotten underway just yet. You do see there some of these law enforcement officials getting ready to brief the media.
They're just standing around.
We do have some of our law enforcement analysts and experts waiting in the wings here on standby. They're going to help us make sense of what was said during this. We're going to break it down. We're going to try to tease out some of the strands.
You ever wonder why like 20 people walk out to give a press conference when only 3 or 4 of them are going to talk? It's almost like they all come out so in case the press decides to kick their ass, they'll have the numbers, you know?
How does a guy walk into a major New York City office building with that type of weapon and carry out this rampage? What was his motive? Now, motive, it may be too early to tell. And usually in these investigations, when they're just hours old.
Another severe thunderstorm issue.
I know about the motive, that's the why. But that's part of the investigation that they have to figure out still. These law enforcement analysts who are going to be briefing us momentarily. You also see there, looks like in the white medical coat, that seems to be a representative from New York Presbyterian Hospital. You also see the Manhattan District Attorney on the far right there, Alvin Bragg, as well. And so I'm just trying to do my best to recognize, familiarize yourself with some of these New York City officials. I would imagine we're waiting for the commissioner. We're also waiting
we're killing all
for
kinds
the mayor.
of time.
And while we do wait, maybe it is safe to bring in some of our analysis, some of our expertise here. Don't want to preempt them or cut them off, but as you know, things like this, they're very fluid. We bring you these updates in real time. I believe that is yet another high-ranking NYPD official. John Chell is his name. I believe he's either 1 or 2 below the commissioner. And so it's going to be a very, very difficult day for the NYPD in the loss of one of their own, but also, according to some of these reports from the Associated Press, the loss of civilians. We don't know how many, at least 5, we are being told. And so you have more and more of these officials getting onto the scene.
God, there's like 20 of them up there now.
So bear with us here. We're going to keep this shot up. But you even see more officials from the hospital where some of these victims presumably were treated. But this is an extremely terrible, tragic story to tell. If you're in New York, you have family in New York, you have friends in New York, you're thinking about them today, you're calling them to make sure they're okay.
Well, I guess.
And we're going to talk about some of the crime statistics in New York City. The NYPD over the 4th of July holiday, we're touting some of those very statistics, that the number of murders in the city was extremely low this year in the first half of the year. And then something like this happens.
That looks like Bernie Sanders down at the end. This is what you do.
Why? It's being reported this shooter was a resident of Nevada. All right, here we have it.
It is a little ridiculous, isn't it? Oh,
listen.
here we go. Here we go. This is the part where you talk. Right now. And take. Go. And go.
This never
There he goes.
never gets easy. I always go back to the beginning of my role as mayor in Harlem Hospital, where Officer Mora and Rivera were assassinated. I remember watching their family members enter the hospital and allowed yell, no, God, please tell me it's not true. I thought about that today when the notification came over from the police commissioner that we had a number of shots fired, and we're still unraveling what took place. And our hearts are heavy. 5 innocent people shot tonight. We lost 4 souls to another senseless act of gun violence, including a member of the New York City Police Department, Officer Islam. He served in the 47th Precinct. He was just 36 years old and a 3.5-year veteran of the department. He was doing what he does best, and all members of the police department carry out. He was saving lives. He was protecting New Yorkers. He's an immigrant from Bangladesh, and he loved this city. And everyone we spoke with stated he was a person of faith and a person that believed in God and believed in living out the life of a godly person. He embodies what this city is all about. He's a true blue New Yorker, not only in the uniform he wore, but in his spirit and energy of loving this city. And early tonight, I met with the officer's family. I told them that he was a hero, and we admire him for putting his life on the line. This was his dad's only son. I think about Jordan, my child, and it's unimaginable to experience a loss of this magnitude. And 3 other innocent civilians are also dead. 2 males and 1 female, and another male is seriously injured, fighting for his life in critical condition because of the violent, despicable attack. Additionally, the shooter is dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. To be clear, 6 total tonight died, 1 including the perpetrator. And I'm sorry, 6 total was shot tonight, 1 including the perpetrator. No words can describe this act of evil and the life of others who are innocent. And no words can fill the void that has been left by this tragedy. Our hearts break for the families and friends of the victims. We pray for the swift and safe recovery of the injured. The horrific crime reminds us all how easy it is to gain access to a gun. Gun violence has scarred so many neighbors and ripped apart too many families across this entire country. And we will continue the fight to do all we can to protect our city. But tonight we mourn for those who were killed. And we pray for the families as they go through this painful moment. And as I stated, 5 innocent people were shot. And the perpetrator was shot. We will continue to do what we do as a city, and that's fight to protect innocent New Yorkers. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to the Police Commissioner of the City of New York, Commissioner Tisch.
Thank you, sir. The information that I'm about to provide is preliminary and subject to change. At 6:28 p.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls for an active shooter inside of 345 Park Avenue at 52nd Street in Manhattan. What happened next is under an active investigation, and details are still coming in, but here's what we know so far. Surveillance video shows a male exit a double-parked black BMW on Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Streets, carrying an M4 rifle in his right hand. He walks towards the building's entrance. That individual was seen exiting the BMW alone. The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately opened fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire. He makes his way to the elevator bank, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk. One additional male is shot in the lobby, per his own statement from the hospital. The shooter then calls the elevator, which opens in the lobby. A female exits that elevator, and he allows her to walk past him unharmed. He goes up to the 33rd floor, which is route and management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds as he traveled. One person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest. In total, we have 5 victims shot, our officer and 4 other innocent civilians, plus the shooter. The shooter is believed to be Shane Tamura, a 27-year-old male with a Las Vegas address. The vehicle is registered in Nevada to Mr. Tamura. Inside of that vehicle, officers found a rifle case with rounds, a loaded revolver, ammunition, and magazines, a backpack, and medication prescribed to Mr. Tamura. The vehicle was searched by our bomb squad and found to be clear of any explosives. The initial investigation shows that Mr. Tamura's vehicle traveled cross-country through Colorado on July 26th, then Nebraska and Iowa on July 27th, and then in Columbia, New Jersey, as recently as 4:24 p.m. today. The vehicle entered New York City shortly thereafter. According to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamura has a documented mental health history. His motives are still under investigation, and we are working to understand why he targeted this particular location. 345 Park Avenue is a commercial office building whose tenants include the NFL, Root and Management, KPMG, and Blackstone. At this time, 4 of the 5 victims are deceased, including our NYPD cop. Our officer was transported here to New York Presbyterian along with 1 male civilian, the lone shooting survivor, who is in critical but stable condition at this time. 2 other civilians, 1 male and 1 female, both deceased, were brought to Bellevue. The 4th civilian is a female who was found dead on the 33rd floor of the location. Additionally, there are 4 other victims being treated for minor injuries sustained in their attempts to flee the scene. Victims' names are being withheld at this time, pending family notification. Officers from our Special Operations Division are currently conducting a secondary sweep of the entire building. I want to be very clear. We believe this to be a lone shooter, and there is no longer an active threat to the public. But today, 4 innocent victims are dead. Among them is NYPD police officer Didarul Islam, 36 years old, 4 years on the job. Officer Islam was married with 2 young boys. His wife is pregnant with their 3rd child. He's assigned to the 4-7 precinct in the Bronx. He was doing the job that we asked him to do. He put himself in harm's way. He made the ultimate sacrifice, shot in cold blood, wearing a uniform that stood for the promise that he made to this city. He died as he lived, a hero. I want to extend my profound sympathies to all of the victims and their families, and to the brave NYPD cops who today lost a brother. There are still many questions that we have to answer, and we will answer them. But for now, our city is in mourning for the innocent lives lost. May their memories be a blessing. Pat.
Patrick Hendry, pray. This is a devastating night for our city, for our police department. Pure evil came to the heart of our city and struck innocent people. And one of our police officers who were protecting those people. We lost 4 people tonight, our hero brother who gave his life for this city. He was a hardworking police officer who was proud, we know, from hearing from his family, to put on that uniform and shield of a New York City police officer every day and went out and did his job. And he went out every single day to provide for his family, whether it was overtime or whatever he had to do to provide for this family. That's what he did on a daily basis. And his family is devastated. A wife losing a husband who provided for that family. A father who's not going to see his son again. And our hearts of every New York City police officer right now is hurting. We're hurting for our brother police officer who we lost. We're hurting for that family. We're hurting for all the victims and hurting for all the families of the victims. And we're all asking, why? Why did pure evil come here? And we know our police department and our law enforcement partners will work tirelessly to get those answers. But now our job as police officers is to be there for this family, to support them in any way that we can, to come together as a city, to be there for these families of the victims. And we will continue to do that, because that's what New York City police officers do. And we're going to continue as police officers to go out and protect this city, because we know that evil can strike at any time. But police officers are willing to risk their lives to protect everyone in this room and protect everyone in this city. So we ask all New Yorkers to pray for our police officers' family, to pray for all the victims and their families. And we need to stand united going forward. We thank you for covering this story.
Yeah, we are also joined by our federal partners from the ATF and the FBI. I want to give an opportunity to...
I'll admit, guys, they seem like they're all acting a little weird tonight, but that maybe it's just me. I don't know.
In charge of the New York City Fields Office, Chris Rea.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, on behalf of all the men and women of the FBI, I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to the victims of this senseless tragedy. And also personally, I want to extend my condolences to the police commissioner. And just please know, ma'am and Mr. Mayor, that you have the full force of FBI New York and the full force of FBI to get to the bottom of the answers. Upon learning of the incident this evening, FBI agents immediately deployed to the scene to assist our NYPD partners. While this remains an NYPD investigation, the FBI's New York office stands ready to provide any and all resources to assist our partners. Initial checks of our internal systems have not revealed any information about the subject. But when and if more information becomes available, we will share what we can, when we can, with the public. Thank you.
All of this information is under active investigation. Videos are being reviewed. And as this investigation continues to unfold, we'll be able to answer those questions. But right now, it's an active investigation.
Why is this guy acting so weird?
He was working paid detail there. To people who might not know what that means. And was he the only officer working that paid detail there?
I believe that there were 2 officers in the building working paid detail assignments in different parts of the building.
And what is that? People may say he's on his day off working in uniform.
Paid detail is a program that we have set up at the police department that allows companies to hire officers in uniform to provide extra uniform security. I already described what we found in the vehicle, and it's too early in the investigation to discuss anything more.
Man, they're all acting so weird. This is so strange.
As I said, too early in this investigation to tell, but nothing that we have seen preliminarily. I cannot. I cannot, other than to say that our partners in Las Vegas made us aware of a mental health history.
I swear I'm watching a movie and they've been taken over by aliens.
That's what I said already.
I've got one that can see.
An M4 rifle, and we also found a revolver in the vehicle with ammunition and magazines. He did have a license in the state of Nevada. At this time, it's too early in the investigation to tell.
Okay, Andrew Kraft back here. As you can see, the demeanor on Commissioner Tisch's face, the very lengthy pause at the very beginning of the press.
Here's the thing, guys. We have to understand they're going through a very stressful night, okay? I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him. The mayor seemed like he was on drugs or something, or taken over by an alien, and the police chief there didn't look any better. The FBI guy looked like he was pretty squared away. I don't know. It's interesting. I want to know. I don't know. This guy was getting in the college. He's in college ball, and he ends up shooting up a building where the NFL is. And no one else but me seems to have made that connection. So we're just kind of, we'll see. But yeah, that was a very weird press conference. It seemed weird to me. I don't know. It just seemed bizarre. Well, anyway, that situation is pretty much over with there, but we'll obviously keep an eye on it for the evening here. And we do still have a tornado warning, but the couplet has kind of come and gone, so they'll probably let that one expire. Yeah, that was just an uncomfortable press conference, guys. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal was, but it just seemed like a very uncomfortable press conference. landing gear fire on a plane about 20 hours ago. That's, wow. Okie dokie. All right, well, let's just run through what we got here. I'll put that scanner feedback on for this county
41 and 40,
where
you guys
this
want
is
to go
here.
work the Hudson area, please? Everybody else head to the bad address area that Adam 9 had. What do you got?
32 copies.
Sorry, when I got it.
What units are going to that call in Centerville? 32 is going to go to the 288 address.
20's en route.
10, I have 20 and 32 going to the 28861 address.
Can't fire needed for a possible electrical hazard line downstream. 302 South Johnson Street for a possible power line down. Use caution upon approach. Line may be energized. Can't fire needed 302 South Johnson Street. 302 South Johnson Street for a possible electrical hazard. A line down. Use caution upon approach. Line may be energized.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go through everything here one last time. We're going to check the chat room. If you've got anything else you want me to bring up or talk about real quick. If there is no breaking news tomorrow night, I'm going to have a long-form discussion about something that happened before I was born, and I think you guys might find it interesting. Tomorrow night, right here on the Sights and Sounds of Earth, if we're not busy covering storms and shootings and stabbings and everything else, I'm going to be talking about the 1964-1965 World's Fair in Flushing Park, New York. And we're going to actually go through all the different things that happened there and some of the really neat things, some of the neat innovations that were brought there, and how that that actual event, that World's Fair that lasted 2 years, there is still structures there and there's still things there that exist today. You can still go, and I plan to Flushing Park, and you can still see the Unisphere and things like that. It's still there. That was such an amazing, pivotal time for so many different things, and I'm going to bring in a lot of the different things that happened during this event, including two very important men that got inspiration and ended up building an empire based on what they learned there. And I'm going to tell you who they are: Walt Disney and Gene Roddenberry. They were both at the 64-65 World's Fair. In fact, Gene Roddenberry built the very first Omnimover, which was the system that he ended up putting in all of his parks to move people through the rides, and the ride cars that move up and down and left and right with the speakers behind you so you can hear. That whole Omnimover system was designed for the 1964-65 World's Fair. The Carousel of Progress. I know people have been through that. One of the neatest old rides there ever was, and it still exists today, right here in Orlando. Anytime I go up to Disney for any reason, I go and I sit through the Carousel of Progress, because I never know if that'll be the last time I see it. It's getting old, and it's hanging in there. But we're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff. Disney worked with Ford to make the Ford ride, which later on became something in Epcot. There was just a lot of things. Gene Roddenberry got a lot of his ideas for Star Trek from this World's Fair. Remember, 64-65 was when his pilots were going out. He was trying to get Star Trek on the air. And I'm going to show you some direct connections between things at that World's Fair and what you saw on Star Trek. It's really cool. And this event, this 2-year World's Fair, that technically was not a World's Fair, and I'll get into that tomorrow night too. It's a very cool thing. Everything right down to the street lights has a neat story. And I plan to tell a bunch of it tomorrow night. Just some really neat stuff. I'll have some video to go along with it. It's old video that's been reproduced a number of times, so I can show it without getting in trouble. And I will show it in the scale window there where the radar normally is. And I'll be able to put that up and show you guys, and we'll talk through it. And I'll talk about all the different things that they did up there in that 6465 New York World's Fair. And really, really cool. Yep. Well, there you go, Aquarius. I was born the same day the first man stepped on the moon. So there you go. It's weird to have little quinky-dink dates. I was also born on the exact same day, as my mother and my uncle. And I got two guys I know that have the same birthday as me too, one I work with. So kind of a weird quinky-dink there. Okay, there you go. Yep. The World's Fair, there's a whole story behind that, and I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, because they tried to have this, and the World's Fair Committee would not allow it because they were going to do it for 2 years, and the World's Fair can only run for 364 days. It cannot run for more than a year, and so they disqualified them. There was also 2 or 3 other reasons they disqualified them too, and it was all bullshit. It was your typical, we made the rules and you're not. So these guys went ahead and did it anyway. Did it make a lot of money? No, but it broke even pretty much. I mean, there's questions on both sides as to whether anybody actually made any money or whatever. But where it comes down to, where the importance was the innovation, and the fact that there was so many really cool things there. And that World's Fair became the template for Epcot. It became the template for Disney and the way he did things. And it became where he built the first people mover and things like that. So I think that it's a really cool thing. And if you've never seen the Carousel of Progress, you need to go watch it. There's a high definition one that someone did on YouTube, and it actually goes through the whole ride. I call it a ride. It's really not a ride. The audience moves around the stage. So in other words, the stage is divided into sections, and the audience moves around the stage and sees each of the stage shows all the way around. And yeah, it's really cool. Where's Tropical Storm Ian? I don't know how there could be a Tropical Storm Ian, because they don't generally reuse those. Yeah, I don't. Have you seen Tropical Storm Ian? Are you sure it's spelled the same way? Because Ian's been retired. I came ashore and killed people here, so they're never going to let me do anything again. Yeah, I've been retired, seriously. My name has been retired. It's no longer going to be used ever again. Now, they may use it in another ocean, but normally the oceans all have separate sets of names. Was that the one in the middle there? Oh, I see, the upper left, yeah. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow night's going to be fun. If we're not busy with breaking news, I do have some stuff spooled up for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to watch video. We're going to talk about it. And I'm going to show you guys how important this event that happened before most of us were even born is to so many things that we take for granted today. And we're going to talk about all kinds of different things. I've got some neat footage and everything else, so it'll be fun. The Challenger disaster, I was in science class in the science building at North High, where I went to school, and they came on the intercom and they said, everybody just turn your TV on. That's all they said. It was weird. It was this is the office, attention teachers, this is the office, please go ahead and turn your TV on. And of course, being the nerd I am, I immediately thought to myself, they didn't tell us which of the 4 channels to tune to. We only had 4 channels. It was a black and white 19-inch hung up in the corner, and we never turned it on. And she turned it on. It takes about 2 minutes to warm up. And I can remember hearing them talking about it before the screen warmed up. And they just kept showing it over and over again. And we finally came to the realization that, that we had lost it. It was over. It was bad news. Yep. The other one, I was at home. I was at home when the one came in over Texas and burned up in re-entry. I was at home for that one. I still remember both of those vividly, exactly where I was, what I was doing, how it went down. It's amazing how that happens. You know how you always remember the crazy things that happen? You guys have heard people talk about that, how you always remember like the crazy things that happen, right? Well, you know why that is? It's a survival instinct. It truly is. It's so that way if something really messed up happens to you, you remember it so you don't ever repeat that mistake. But that's literally why it's done that way. That's literally why it's done that way. It's kind of crazy, but it's true. You will remember bad things. Now, I'm not talking little bad things. Those you tend to forget. I'm talking about traumatic experiences, a bad accident, someone attacks you and you get hurt. Those kind of things you don't ever forget. You'll remember the rest of your life, and it's like time slowed down and your brain logged it all down. It's kind of crazy. The reason it does that is because it is part of your survival instinct to remember things like that every time. And when something happens, your brain remembers that situation from 20 years ago just as vivid as it just happened, and hopefully it'll keep you out of trouble. You know, if you and your buddy walk up and the bush is moving and your buddy walks up and gets ate by the tiger, 20 years later, you walk up, the bush is moving. You're not walking up to that bush because you still remember vividly in your mind your buddy getting ate walking up to the bush. And it's all just literally there for your survival. Yep. Yeah, I've been in some crazy situations. I had a roof collapse on me as a firefighter, and I got trapped inside a building. And my partner made it back down the line, but I was stuck in there, and I kept beating on this wall, and finally the guys heard me, and they started digging in this window, and finally we were able to make contact, and they yanked me through this window and got me out of there before the place completely came down. I've had stuff like that. I got blown up one time. I was going into, this is how my back got ruined. I was going into a fire, and we didn't realize the guy was fixing chainsaw motors in there and propane cylinders and stuff. We thought it was just a house. And when it exploded, it put me out into the middle of the front yard, laying on my back with my air pack on. And that ruined me. I've had some traumatic, and you know what? I, to this day, can still remember what it looked like when it went up. It looked like, you remember Star Wars? When they go to FTL, or what do they call it, hyperspace or whatever in Star Wars, you know, when they go and the stars kind of go and everything just flies by? That's what it looked like, because there was a magnesium fire, and I hit the magnesium fire with the water. It flared, and then a propane cylinder went off, and when that propane cylinder went off, it shot the burning metal all over me. I had holes burned all in my gear. And it looked like stars going by. And then I don't remember anything except my partner dragging me away from the thing. And I'm looking through my mask into his mask, and my mask is all burned. I can barely see him. And he was dragging me away. And mumbling something about "don't die, MFer" or something. I don't know what he kept saying, and I'm like, "I'm fine, dude. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." You know, and I wasn't. I was hurt pretty bad, but it all worked out okay. And so I have a few of those traumatic incidents where it was just a crazy time, and I'll never forget it. My brain slowed down and captured every moment of that experience. It's kind of crazy how that works. Anyway, all right, let's see here. Before we move on any further, do we have anything else? I'm coming up on 3 hours now. And we've got about 20 of us still left in here. That's not so bad. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Please like and subscribe, and also go over and like and subscribe the After Dark channel if you would. We're trying to, that's the backup channel, and we are trying to get the numbers up over there. And for some reason, I can't find the link to it. There it is. All right. Anyway, here we go. Let's see if this works. I don't normally do it this way. Yeah, there we go. That's Starship Adventures. That's our other channel. And if you guys could just go there and throw us a like. What we do over there is that's the After Dark channel. And what we do is we play stuff like crazy radio traffic and all that. And everything you hear over there is live. It's live on the radio right now. Yeah, 9/11. Let's see. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. I was sleeping. I had just sold my house, and my brother was letting me stay in his back room because I literally had just sold my apartment like 3 days earlier. I still have the paperwork. It was like September 9th or something. I sold my apartment. No, it was actually a few weeks. It was a few weeks, and I moved in with my brother, and I'm sitting there. And I was sleeping. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and one of my family members came in and said, "You need to get up. Your mom's on the phone. There's something big going on in New York." And that began the day. And by the end of the day, we had 3 TVs stacked up on top of each other, and it was like I don't know how to explain it. It became an obsession. My family at some point had to do an intervention on me. And they took me away, and we went on vacation and did some stuff, and they wouldn't let me watch TV for like 2 weeks. They had to literally do an intervention on me. I couldn't put it down. And this was back before smartphones. So I was literally just, I couldn't be away from it. I had to, and I had 3 TVs because I had to see everything that was going on. And then we went into Baghdad and all that. We went into, Afghanistan and all that. And I became obsessed with it again. And I have become news obsessed before. I have to be very careful not to become news obsessed. And I've kind of gotten over that now because I do news for a living, and I'm sick of it, and I don't like it anymore. And that's kind of broke me of some of that. But yeah, I'm bad about it. That's where my fetish, if you will, with multiple screens, that all started after 9/11. Because I couldn't get enough information from just one TV. And I stacked 3 19-inch TVs up on top of each other. I literally went and bought one at a garage sale because I needed a third one. And I had antennas rigged outside, and I was getting all the channels. And then eventually, when the local channels started going away from continuous coverage, then I had cable, and I ran it in there, and I was splitting the cable off so I could get CNN, NBC. I wanted CNN, Fox, and MSLSD, and that way I could see everything that was going on all at one time. But yeah, I still remember that. That was just an incredible day. There is a lot of videos that have been made about, and I'm not talking about conspiracy ones. I'm talking about straight up videos about like the timeline and all the phone calls that were made and all the air traffic controllers and all that. You can go back and become re-obsessed if you want. They've got the entire timeline that shows the buildings and the planes and everything all on the screen, and you're listening to all the radio traffic and everything else. it's quite dramatic. And they had all the different fire trucks and everybody, all the planes, the phone calls that were made. It's sad. I mean, I only went through it one time, and then I'm good now. I probably won't ever do it again. But yeah. Yeah, I was already up when the first one had hit, and I watched the second one live on TV as well. My mom was watching the news when it hit, and she immediately picked up the phone and called and got me woke up. So that all happened before the second one. And yeah, the moment that second plane hit, I turned and looked at my family and I said, "We're under attack. There's no way the random chance can't work out. There's just no way. We're under attack. This is it. Red alert." I told him that. I said, "We are under attack. This will go down in history as the biggest attack ever, whatever, yada, yada, yada." And sure enough, it turned out to be the exact case. Yeah, there you go. Aquarius, you and everybody else. I was already past it. I had retired from the fire department and was still on part-time helping the new guy get going. But I had already retired. I was done, and I was just staying on part-time to help out. And we were allowed to do that with our system because it wasn't like a big state retirement system or anything. And I was allowed to stay on, even though I retired technically, I was allowed to stay on part-time. And I did that for a while. We went up to Tampa. We tried to go up to 9/11. We tried to go. Bottom line was they took, I think, 12 or 15 guys from Florida. There was 100,000 firefighters across the country that showed up at centers with their gear and equipment and expertise and said, I'm going to ground zero. I did it too. I'm going to ground zero. I got my gear, got my helmet, I got all my equipment, I got my own air packs, I got everything I need. And after a day and a half of trying to go, they finally came out and said, go home. They don't need anybody else. You can only fit so many people at ground zero. And of course, now looking back on it, had I been chosen to go up there, I'd probably be dead. Because most of the guys that helped out afterwards are dead. It's a shame to think about it, but that dust killed everybody that was there working. The numbers for 9/11 are still going up every day. It's one of those numbers we'll never know for sure how many people died in those attacks because they're still dying. Yeah. I knew I would never get in the military because I was a bit of a butterball and I didn't like running and I didn't like physical fitness shit. I was a nerd. I loved computers and my Commodore 64. And I knew that the military was not for me. It had nothing to do with bravery. I crawled in the burning buildings. I carried a gun. I chased people that were shooting. I mean, it's not a fear thing with me. I mean, I went and did some pretty scary jobs with the military. It was boot camped. Going to foreign lands and fighting wars is scary, but I could have done that. Being woke up by a sergeant with a garbage can at 4 o'clock in the morning, being called a piece of shit and having to run 4 miles before breakfast, kiss my ass on that one. I don't think I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I have a real hard time with people screaming, yelling, and cussing at me, first of all. I've never been tolerant of that. And number two, and the biggest reason, I'm a butterball and I'm not fit. And I'm not going to, I would not be the one you would want backing you up out in the desert of Fallujah, okay? And I know that. Now, as a firefighter, I was able to stay above the line. I was able to do the job. And as a cop, I was able to chase the bad guys and catch them about half the time. And it was enough. But I was never physically fit enough to be in the military, ever. And I was never under a delusion that I could be. And so there you go. Yeah, that warm gas that was coming out of the debris because of the fires that were burning way down was just carrying that asbestos and everything else. Not just asbestos, though, a lot of other things that they still to this day aren't exactly sure what they were. There was chemical compounds that were made there because of what happened, because of the pressures and the fires and the heats and the prolongs and everything. There's actually science that was made there in that hole. I know it sounds crazy, but all right, I'm checking. I don't see anything on the 7-day forecast for the National Hurricane Center, but let's go ahead, since we're here, right? I mean, we might as well, right? Since we're here, let's go ahead and run the model. See what the hell's going on. Looks like we got it. This is the American model, which is the better performing one right now. Thank you very much. The Euro had it for years, but the Euro now sucks. I don't know what happened to it. All right, here we go. Is this going to let me go forward? Hello, go forward. All right, so we're going to go forward. Low pressure system goes up into Georgia. Nothing there, nothing. There is a low pressure that starts to form out there, but it's wrapped around dry air and high pressure. But there is a low that forms out there in the intertropical convergence zone out by the Azores, and it does come out. It does come across. Where does it go in? This is the critical moment. Boom. It hits right at the top of the island chain. And like I've told you guys, 15 north, if it is if it hits that island chain and it's above 20 north or even 15 north, it's probably going to go up the east coast. If it's below 15 north, for sure, it's going to be a Gulf of Mexico storm, and that's what we're looking at here with this one. Let's see, it does stay low, goes underneath Hispaniola, underneath Haiti, and it keeps going right up over Jamaica, and then washes out in the Western Gulf, and nothing ever. It doesn't show any genesis. All right, so let's go back to here and let's pull up the Euro. Let's take a look. Here it is down here on the Euro, and let's see what it does. Does the Euro wants to form anything there? Oh, it forms a second one, which is a fish storm. Let's see. No, washes out. Washes out. Nothing to see here, as the government would say. Nothing to see here. Move along. Nothing to see here. All right, and then let's do the CMC, and then I'll be satisfied. All right, so here we go. There it is. There it is. We see it. It's out there. It's out there. It's out there. And it does run up through the island chain up into Florida, but as nothing. As just simply a low-end, low-pressure system. But that does show energy moving in the direction of Florida, so that's something we would certainly want to keep an eye on. And, of course, one of the things we do here on this channel is let you guys know when there is anything like that, you know. If I start, I don't know if you guys know this or not, and I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up and find it real quick, but I'm going to go back this hurricane season. I do a hurricane season, like an alert bulletin. It's something I've done for 4 or 5 years now, and what I do is, hold on, I'm going to find it. I'm just going to search for it and find it. Give me just a second. What I do is I put out, when storms start to form out there, I will go ahead and put out a PDF in an email that has all the information on the storm and everything, and it's all scientific and all that. And a lot of people liked it, you know. And I'll give you an example here if I can find it. Oh, it's about time to go get some more drink. I'm not a drinker. It's Mountain Dew. Still equally important. What the hell is all that about? What the hell? Making all that noise for nothing? That was the strangest press conference I think I've seen in a long time. That mayor come out there and he's looking down like he's like lost or something. He comes walking out there and he's like looking down and then he's like waits like almost a full minute before he said. I was starting to get impatient. I'm like, okay, and go, it's your turn, go. Yep, it's I do believe that, you know, if someone's done good for a long time, that you know, I think that there should be a way around some bad history or things like that. I just, you know, I agree. I do agree with that. Oh crap, where is this going to be at? Think there, and there we go. Yeah, I'm getting ready to cruise anyway, but I figured I would try to show you this real quick if I can get it to come up. Yeah, give me just a second, guys. I'm still looking here. Oh, those scanners are quiet. All right, give me just a few seconds here. I want to look for this. If I can find this, I want to show you guys this real quick. I've decided that I'm going to do this again this year.
Where would you like us to respond to?
No, I didn't want to do it this way, but let's do it this way. Gmail.
.293 and Hudson Avenue to the north. Just a barn missing a roof. Trying to see if I can make contact with someone here.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, so what I do is when there's a storm out there that's threatening land, I start it's threatening Florida most specifically. Oh, Christ, here we go. I can pull it up this way. So basically, anytime there is a hurricane and it's going to hit Florida, I start putting out basically these white papers that basically explain everything. And I've decided I think I'm going to do this again this year. And so I just I'm not doing it tonight, but I'm going to let you guys know if you want to sign up for these, you can. You can unsubscribe at any time. It's just basically a way to get emergencies. I send out like emergency stuff. I'm going to show you this. This is what went out at 2 p.m. the day before Hurricane Ian, Category 5 Hurricane Ian, hit right here where I'm sitting. I put this out, and this ended up being talked about quite a bit down here because I put this out to several hundred people. It was ended up being sent out to thousands of people over and over and over again. And yes, this used to be called the Southwest Florida TechNet or Tech Team. That's what we used to do on this channel. I changed the name. So anyway, basically what it is I would put out these things, and it would basically spell things out in a way that you're not used to seeing it. And I would just have every single thing that you need to know about the storm and what it's going to do. I put in all the helpful information. I put in the latest bulletins. And here's all the bulletins that came out from the state EOCs, the county EOCs. These are all the statements coming out from all the EOCs around here. And then here's all the repeaters that we're going to be operating on during the storm, which ended up being mostly dead. And then here's where you see this here. This was where all the expanded coverage could be found. And that was it. I mean, I would give people this basically like everything you need to know right here in one paper. I noticed I don't have a lot of graphics in here. I think that was because the storm was bearing down on us and I was really hurrying here. But normally there's a lot of graphics in these as well. And I basically put this out, and I'm going to offer it again this year. So I'll watch for that soon. All you do is give me an email address. Maybe I'll find a different way to put it out. I don't know. But a lot of the people I put it out to would prefer I just send it to their email address. So that's probably how I'm still going to do it. But anyway, so that's that. And I'm going to be doing that. I got that. We got the Discord thing. I'm going to be doing some more social media. I'm going to try to get our numbers up, guys. I'm doing everything I can to get our numbers up in here and to get more people to want to come into the shows in the evenings. So some nights we have thousands and some nights we have tens. And a lot of it depends on just what's going on. But I think we'll eventually build up a larger pool of regulars that are in here every single night. And I think that will end up helping in the long run. We'll end up building more of a rapport on the channel. There'll be more and more people that that come in and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, so there you go. Let me see one last check around to see what's going on. We've been on for 3 hours and 13 minutes. Thanks especially out to the 350 people that came in tonight. And I do appreciate you guys, especially the likes and the subscribes and all that. And I guess I want to keep mentioning this. We have a Discord server now, and I know some people, when they hear Discord, they think, oh, that's just people yelling at each other. No, it's not. We use it to send links and to put out information. All the stuff I put on YouTube posts is also on there as well, and you can get that. You can also contribute to the conversation there. You can add articles. We're going to have we've got one where you can put in breaking news, and we're going to have one that's for the live show and everything. So we're working all that on Discord over there. So check that out over on Discord. So far, I like it. and I've been happy with it so far. So it's given us a way to share links and stuff. I also, as I get to know you, I'll make you a mod, and that way you can share links in my chat room once I get to know you. And there, that second link, that's our Starship After Dark channel, and over there we've got a live stream going on. There's 5 folks over there watching that live stream, and that's basically, I don't know how to explain it other than that's the ham radio CB channel, and you want to talk about some funny shit that goes on that channel. I'm talking hilarious stuff that goes on over there, and a lot of people just like to turn it on for an hour and just listen while you're doing something, because it can really be a lot of fun. You might also find it very distasteful and turn it off, and that's okay too. Okay, yeah. All right. He was a security guard at a Las Vegas casino hotel recently. His private investigator license recently expired. That's weird. Sometimes I wonder what the hell makes people just go off like crazy people, you know? I don't know. Whatever. Oh, man. All right, last call, guys. Is there anything else that we need to bring up tonight? I'm going to call this is the last call. Last call for no alcohol. Yeah, Aquarius, that's almost the case every time, but this time I definitely agree with you. They were acting so weird in that press conference. And I don't want to sound like the guy that's got like the alien conspiracy theories or something here. They're going to turn me in. But I'm telling you, Mayor Adams, whatever, was acting bizarre tonight. Absolutely bizarre. He was half asleep. Maybe he had already taken his Ambien and laid down. I don't know. But, yeah, something with that guy. Yeah. Something weird. All right, everybody. Have a good night out there. I will be back tomorrow night for Tuesday night show. Thank you for coming in. I have a little piece of news I'm going to tell you that we're not even announcing on the radio station yet, but I'm going to give you guys an easy sneak peek. We're doing something that we haven't done in a long time on the channel, on my radio channel. We're going to podcast, and you will now, starting tomorrow, and I'll get you the link. You'll be able to actually go in and listen to our shows, and even if you didn't hear them live when they played over the internet and over our transmitter live, you'll be able to go back and you'll be able to listen to the previous podcasts, and I edit the commercials out so you don't have to listen to the ads. It's just the radio show. It's about like 42 minutes an hour, and they're going to be saved into 3-hour blocks, three 42-minute blocks. And you'll be able to listen to the whole show in like an hour and whatever. I mean, that's what's really cool about it, is you can listen to the whole show in about 2 hours instead of 3. And if you listen to it on 1.2 or 1.3, which a lot of people do, you can listen to a 3-hour show in about an hour and a half. And yeah, that, you know, it'll be cool if you guys want to check out what I do. It'll be neat because you can go back and listen to some of our shows. But they're going to start tomorrow night. And they'll be available going forward posthumously here for a long time. There won't be anything going back before that, though. It's just going forward, we're going to start putting them up. It'll only be when my actual host is on, and it will only be that one show for right now. And we're not even letting our audience know for a few weeks till we get all the bugs worked out. But I think it's going to be really cool. I'm happy about that, and it gives me a chance to let other people know that of ways that they can listen to our show. Anyway, that's all I got there. And I am still working with Jake at work with that scanner program. We're getting ready to recompile it again and see if we can get it to work. We're having a little bit of a problem getting it to record the snippets and getting them to file in the snippets and everything. So, but we're going to get that set up. What we're doing, for those of you who don't know, we're building a program. We're actually making a program that's going to take 4 or 6 or 8 different scanner feeds, okay, and instead of listening to it all at once and splitting it left and right here and all this bullshit like we have to do, and it sounds like a complicated mess, and I don't know what's going on. What we're going to do is this program is going to record everything that happens and play it back one right after the next. So instead of having dead air for a minute and then having 4 people talking at once and everything else, it will play each one right after the other. Beep, 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 beep. Just keep playing and playing and playing. So there's no dead air and there's no duplicate audio, and you get to hear everything. You don't get to miss a thing. And then while there's dead air, it'll catch up. And then it will continue recording, and if it gets busy, it will start spooling it up and play it when it gets a chance. If it spools more than 6 minutes or so, then it will truncate. But the point is we're trying to set this up so that our scanner feeds that we have in Philly and New York and LA, we want to get these to where they're not a complicated mess in your ears, but more a rhythmic thing that's going to play and play and play and play. And that way you get to hear every transmission in order the way it was received from 6 different channels on one channel without a complicated mess. And I think we've got something here. I really do. Good night, everybody. I want to say good night. Have a good one. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for our Tuesday night show. We're going to keep working to make this place better, make everything better, and we're going to be trying as we do to continue to improve our studio here and to make things work better, to make things work smoother. Like I said, we just switched a bunch of computers to OBS. We're going to do some Linux stuff. We've been switching things around, and we're now already talking about building our next machine. So we're going to keep this going. This is what we want to do, and me especially. I've got others that work with me, but it's mostly just me doing a lot of it here for this one channel. And I just love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to keep on doing it, and I do appreciate all of you guys that come in and spend your time here with us in the evening. My name's Ian. This is Starship Studios in Southwest Florida, and the channel is Starship Adventures. The show is called The Sights and Sounds of Earth, and we'll be back tomorrow night for our Tuesday night show. God bless to those we've lost tonight in New York, and be safe to everybody out in the Dakotas and out in that area with the storms tonight, and we'll hope everybody has a good tomorrow and a great night's sleep. We'll see you guys tomorrow. 7-3s, everybody. Have a good night.